Hi, welcome back guys. This is your friend, Cabbage Head Fanfics. Back with amazing fanfiction. This is the series of What If Deku Becomes Albino Monkey? Now before starting, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now let's get into the fanfic. It has been 3 days since Izuku Midoriya was diagnosed as quirkless, and he hasn't been having the best childhood. His best friend became his bully, and he never made any new friends. His mother Inko started to wonder if Izuku would ever smile again. Inko, honey, how are you today? Izuku was silent for a moment as he just stared at his computer with tears in his eyes. Inko knew that her son was heartbroken and she also learned about the bullying. She needed a way to make her son happy again. She tried looking at the news for anything that would help until a news report came up about an animal circus that was about to be closed down. Inko remembered that Izuku loved watching the circus as a kid with all the performers acting as if they had quirks. That might be the answer she was looking for. Inko got Izuku into the car and they drove off to the circus. Izuku was still depressed about what happened, but he still wanted to try and make his mother happy. When they arrive they see all the animals being put into the cages of the circus train. Inko, come on sweetie, don't you want to see the animals? Izuku, okay. Izuku climbed out of the car and took his mother's hand. They walked past all sorts of animals, sea lions, elephants, bears, a lion, 2 tigers, some ponies, and a few dogs. Izuku was still upset when suddenly he saw something that made his eyes widen. Inside one of the cages was a baby albino monkey wearing a yellow bandana with a small bunny-like tail. Izuku began to smile as the monkey looked at him curiously. Izuku, mama, he's so cute. Inko, I know sweetie. Animal caretaker, if you want him, he's all yours. Inko, are you sure? Animal caretaker, sure, the circus is shutting down and we want to help give the animals new homes. Izuku, can we take him, mama, please? Animal caretaker, don't worry ma'am, he's perfectly safe and he won't hurt anyone. Inko, what? Izuku, yay. The animal caretaker opens the cage, takes the monkey out, and gives him to Izuku. Inko, what's his name? Animal caretaker, we never got the chance to name him since we only got him a few weeks ago, so you can name him. Izuku, what about Cuda? Inko, that sounds like a nice name honey. Cuda hugs Izuku and falls asleep in his arms. Animal caretaker, I think he likes you little boy. Inko, thank you sir. Animal caretaker, no problem at all, take care now. They leave the circus and they get into the car. They arrive at the apartment and Cuda is excited to be a part of the Midoriya family. Izuku takes Cuda to his room. Izuku, this is my room, I hope you like it. Cuda looked around and saw all the things Izuku liked. He didn't mind that Izuku's room was full of All Might merch. What mattered to him was that he had someone to be by his side. 8 years later, Izuku came home after school covered in bruises. Inko, honey, are you okay? Izuku was now 12 years old and attending Aldra Junior High. Ever since he was diagnosed as quirkless, his former best friend Katsuki Bakugo has been bullying and beating him for being weaker than his peers. Izuku, I'm fine mom. Izuku, no you're not, I should have known that Katsuki would keep this up, and now that you're in middle school it's only gotten worse. I'm calling Mitsuki about this. Izuku, no please, if you do then he'll hurt me even more. Inko, honey, I can't let you suffer like this. But I'll stay quiet about it. But if you come back with more injuries I'm telling her. Izuku, okay mom, hey where's Cuda? Inko, he's been waiting in your room. Izuku, I wish I could bring him but school policy forbids it. Inko, maybe once you're in UA you can ask the principal if it's okay. Izuku, okay mom. Izuku goes to his room and sees Cuda sitting on the ground. Cuda grew a lot since he was adopted by the Midoriyas. He was now a lot taller and was wearing red shorts which he started wearing after seeing Izuku put his on. Izuku, Cuda. Cuda got up and jumped into Izuku's arms and hugged him tightly. Izuku, I missed you so much Cuda. Cuda then climbs Izuku's body and plays around like a jungle gym. Some of his hair was shedding and some even fell into Izuku's hair. This moment shortly ended once he got tired. Izuku, I wish I knew what you were saying Cuda, then maybe we can be a lot closer. Izuku then noticed something on his floor. It looked like a small helmet with a siren light on it. Izuku, huh, now where did this come from? Cuda climbs onto Izuku's shoulder as he goes down to the kitchen. Izuku, hey mom, did you put this in my room? Inko looks at the helmet and shakes her head. Inko, no sweaty, I haven't. Izuku, huh, I wonder where it came from. Izuku looks at the helmet for a bit and wonders how it would look on him. He then puts the helmet on his head, and then the light starts flashing red. Izuku then starts to feel an enormous headache as he feels some of his bones elongate. Inko watched in disbelief as her son began to transform. Once the pain stopped, Izuku fell to his knees, breathing heavily. Inko, honey, are you okay? Izuku, why yeah, but I feel weird. Inko, honey, look in the mirror, you look like a monkey. Izuku goes to a mirror and sees he really is a monkey. He was covered in white fur and the helmet he wore changed shape to allow some of his hair to poke out. He then took off his shoes and socks and saw that his feet looked like hands. He still had some green hair on his head, but most of it turned white with purple and blue tips, and some of it covered his right eye. Izuku stared at himself and he was happy. Izuku, mom, this is amazing. Inko, honey, you're not upset? Izuku, no, I'm happy, because I can finally be a hero. I'm happy for you, big brother. Izuku was surprised when he heard the new voice. He looked around and saw Cuda sitting on a chair. Izuku, Cuda, did you just talk? Cuda, yes, big brother. Izuku, it's amazing. Inko, honey, Cuda didn't say anything. Izuku, huh, then maybe I can understand him. Inko, honey, this is amazing to hear. Izuku, did you mean it when you called me big brother? Cuda, yes, big brother is amazing. Izuku, I'm so happy. Izuku and Cuda hugged one another and they were joined by Inko, who was really happy for her son. Izuku was heading to school, and when he arrived all the students were wondering if he was a new student. He arrived at his class and sat in his chair. Not long after, Bakugo arrives. Nakugo, hey, that's not your seat, and who are you? Izuku, I'm hurt, you don't recognize me. Kaken. Everyone's eyes widened. The boy sitting in Izuku's chair was in fact Izuku himself. Bakugo, no way, Deku. Izuku, you remember. The teacher walks in and everyone takes their seat. Teacher, morning everyone, as you all can see Midoriya has finally developed his quirk. Because of this new development I hope you will all treat him better. He looks at all the students with a cold look which made them all tense up. They nod and the teacher begins teaching. Bakugo was staring at Izuku with an unamused look. Everyone leaves and Izuku packs up. Bakugo goes to him. Bakugo, you think you're better than me just because you got a quirk, Deku? Izuku, no, of course not. Because unlike you I don't let the attention go to my head. Bakugo, that's it die. Izuku dodges out of the way and used his telekinesis to send Bakugo into a wall, knocking him out. Izuku, I guess I can't expect you to change right away, but I'll be sure to keep him in his place. Izuku leaves the class using his telekinesis to drag Bakugo out of the school. 2 years later, Izuku was now in his final year of middle school and his life started to get better. Not only did the kids, except Bakugo, stop bullying him, but he also started getting a better handle on his new powers. He learned that the reason he turned into an albino monkey was because of the shed hairs from Cuda that fell into his hair, and the helmet he was wearing triggered the transformation. The helmet also appeared to stimulate an increase in his intelligence and learning speed, which he discovered after he read through an entire dictionary in just 3 minutes. He also discovered that if the helmet was removed he doesn't return to normal, but instead turns into an actual albino monkey while retaining his original human intellect and ability to speak. Because of the size difference in species, Inko used some of her money to buy a pair of red shorts that Izuku wears under his regular pants that change size depending on what form he is in. He mostly doesn't wear a shirt or clothes for his upper body due to the fur acting as a shirt for him. Whenever he wore something else he gets uncomfortably hot. As for Cuda, he also grew a little to the point where he was as tall as Inko's legs when standing upright. Izuku also took the time to teach Cuda how to read, write, and understand Japanese despite his inability to speak the words. Izuku never discovered where the helmet came from, but he was also very cautious about it. Whenever he was at home, he would sometimes inspect the helmet looking for any sort of dangerous tech or programs that might be harmful to him or others. He discovered that the helmet contained a mind control and obedience chip that was meant to take control of the wearer and turn them into a sort of slave. Fortunately, he managed to remove it and was able to make schematics for similar helmets that shared the appearance of its previous form. He even named the helmets Peak Point helmets. All in all, Izuku was really happy with how his life turned around. Izuku and Cuda were walking back home after picking up some groceries. Izuku, I hope mom will make some katsudan tonight. Cuda, yeah, it's delicious. Izuku, glad to hear. Cuda, now let's. Izuku felt someone bump into him. He looked down to see a little girl. Izuku, hey, are you okay? Please help me. Cuda, big brother, look at her arms and legs. Izuku does so and sees that they are covered in bandages, and she was also wearing ragged clothing. Oh, thank you for finding my daughter. The man looked too suspicious to be the girl's father. Izuku proceeds to read her mind, and what he saw made him furious enough to go bananas. Izuku, oh really, then tell me, why is she covered in bandages? Oh, she's very clumsy. He couldn't finish the sentence because he was pushed against a wall by Izuku's telekinesis. Izuku then gives the girl to Cuda as he approached the man. Izuku, clumsy my ass, I read her mind and I saw what you did to her. Not only did you hurt her physically, but psychologically as well. You're no savior, it's people like you that are the true disease of this society. Overhaul. Izuku was making sure to keep the villain trapped in his telekinetic grip. He then uses his powers to move a few metal bars and bend them around his body like a rope, restraining him. Izuku, mind, I could have easily ended him, but I need to remember heroes don't end. Once he was done, he returns to Cuda and takes the girl from him. He then calls the police and tell them about what happened, but he made sure to say that a hero did it and not him, since he isn't allowed to use his powers in public since it would be mistaken for a quirk. They arrive back at home and put the girl in the guest room. Once Inko returned from work, Izuku explained the situation to her and she felt so sad about what the girl went through, as well as angry at the man who hurt her. Inko, honey, I'm so proud of you for doing it, you too. Cuda. They hug one another and Inko begins to cook. A little later the girl wakes up and goes downstairs. Izuku, good afternoon little one. Where am I? Izuku, in my apartment, I brought you here. Eri, why you won't take me back? Izuku, of course not, no one deserves to suffer like you did. Izuku, mind, even though Overhaul deserved all of it tenfold. Izuku, my name is Izuku, and this is my little brother Cuda. Inko, and I'm Inko, I'm their mother. What's yours? Eri. Izuku, that's a really nice name. Eri, thanks. Izuku, hey, why don't you get some rest and I'll come get you when mom's done making dinner. Eri, okay. Eri goes back to the guest room, leaving the family to themselves. Inko, she's such a sweetheart. Izuku, yeah, but I'm worried about her. Cuda, why big brother? Izuku, she hasn't smiled since I brought her here. I think she's still traumatized from the experience. Inko, oh honey. Izuku, don't worry, I'll help her. Inko, how? Izuku, while training I learned that I can alter a person's memories or erase them completely. That's why I asked her to go to bed. Inko, well, I hope you can help her. Izuku, I hope so too. Izuku quietly entered the room and went to Eri's side. He touched her forehead and proceeded to erase to bad memories she experienced with Overhaul. He did have some trouble, but he was able to finish and completely replace all the bad memories with pleasant memories. The only ones he didn't want to tamper with were the ones from her infancy, since it would be too suspicious. Once he was done, he took his hand away and looked at her with the cutest smile ever. Izuku, mind, I promise I won't let anyone take away your happiness again. Izuku smiled softly and leaves the room. Izuku, it's done. Inko, I hope she'll be happy here. Izuku, she will. A few hours later, Izuku goes to Eri's room and wakes her up, bringing her to the kitchen. They all had a delicious meal. Izuku, how is it, Eri? Eri, it's amazing, Papa. This surprised everyone, especially Izuku. Eri, don't you want to be my papa? Izuku smiled softly and hugged Eri. Izuku, no Eri, it just surprised me is all, I'll be your papa. Eri, Cuda, mind, does that mean I'm an uncle? Inko, mind, I have a granddaughter. Izuku, hey Eri, why don't you go wash up and I'll read you a bedtime story. Eri, okay. Eri goes to the bathroom to clean her hands. Inko, was that your doing? Izuku, no, I'm just as surprised as you are. Maybe she sees me as a parental figure after I saved her. I just replaced the memory of her escaping from Overhaul with a memory of him finding her and chasing after her. Inko, so she thinks you're her papa because of what you did. Izuku, I guess so. Hey Cuda, you've been quiet for a bit, are you okay? Cuda, sorry, I'm still processing the fact that I'm gonna be an uncle. Izuku, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Inko, so you're willing to be her father. Izuku, I'm okay with it, but can you help me in helping with parenting? Inko, sure honey, I might as well teach Cuda as well. Cuda, okay. Once they were done, Izuku goes to Eri's room and reads her a bedtime story. He heads to his room and goes to bed with Cuda by his side. The next day Inko helped Izuku and Cuda learn about parenting, which helped them a lot when they took care of Eri. Eri stayed with Inko whenever Izuku and Cuda were gone, and Eri enjoyed spending time with her new family. It was 10 months before the UA entrance exam, and Izuku felt that he needed some training. He arrived at Dagoba Beach, which was covered in trash. He saw two people talking with one another. The first was a blonde boy that appeared to be 2 years older than Izuku. He had blue eyes and a face that looked like it was a child's drawing. The other man was someone Izuku was shocked to see. It was the #1 hero of Japan, All Might. He wore a white shirt and green jeans. Izuku went over to them. Izuku, hello. Oh, I didn't know someone else was going to be here. Izuku, I actually just arrived. I wanted to get some additional training before UA's entrance exam. Oh, it's no big deal, I'm here for the same thing. My name's Mirio Togata, by the way. Izuku, nice to meet you. A future hero student I see. Izuku, why yes sir. Haha, I can tell that you're a fan. If you want an autograph then just ask. Izuku, oh, can you sign my notebook? Why of course. Izuku hands All Might his notebook, but the moment he touched All Might's finger his eyes widened. What's wrong young man? Izuku, I'm sorry, I think my quirk accidentally caused me to read your mind. All Might froze with his mouth open in shock. So, did you see? Izuku, why yes. In a flash All Might debuffed, looking more like a skeleton. Izuku, I'm really sorry sir. It's okay young man, it wasn't your fault. But can you please keep what you saw a secret? Izuku, yes sir, no one will know, apart from my monkey brother who was following me. They looked to see Cuda sitting on a bench with a confused expression. Mirio, that's your brother? Izuku, we adopted him from a circus 10 years ago, and he sees me as his big brother. Don't worry, he's good at keeping secrets. I see, good to know young. Izuku, oh, Izuku Midoriya, sir. And I guess it's only fair that I tell you my secret as well. Oh? Izuku, you see, my powers aren't a quirk. Izuku then proceeds to tell them about how he got his powers, and All Might explained to Cuda his situation. Izuku, so is it okay if I can train with you? I don't see why not. Mirio, sure, it'd be nice to train with someone. During Izuku's training, he found some parts from old inventions. He took them home where he used them to construct his own inventions, one of which was a throne that could hover and move around, and another being a pair of stun clubs which he trained for in case he couldn't use his psychic powers. He also made blueprints for other inventions that he wanted to make, but couldn't due to not having enough materials. Izuku and Mirio have cleaned the entire beach in 5 months due to Izuku's inhuman strength. Izuku, finally finished. Mirio, yeah, it took us 5 months, but we're finally finished. Izuku, we don't have to stop training just because we finished training our bodies. What do you mean young Midoriya? Izuku, what if we trained against one another, to see where we can improve our skills? Mirio, that sounds awesome. I like it, we shall start tomorrow. Izuku, sounds like a plan. For the next 5 months, Izuku and Mirio trained effortlessly against one another with All Might and Cuda as the spectators. The training helped strengthen Izuku's powers and also improved Mirio's quirk. It was now time for Izuku to put all that hard work to good use and ace the entrance exam. But I'm going to end it here, for now. Next time will be Izuku's bio, and don't think I forgot to include other monkeys. I'm planning for them to debut after Izuku finishes the entrance exam. As for the Freaky Monkey 5, I don't see a need to bring them in right away, but they will be here. Until next time, see you. Hey guys, this will be Izuku's bio just to help explain what powers he has. Basically, it will be the same as Spectre from Ape Escape, but it's better to do a detailed bio in case no one knows which series the stories are inspired by. Now let's begin. Name, Izuku Midoriya. Hero name, Albino Hero, Spectre. Age, 14. Classification, Monkey-Human Hybrid, mostly monkey. Powers and abilities, superhuman physical characteristics, flight, teleportation, telekinesis, mind control, mind manipulation, instant clone creation, energy manipulation, force field creation, shockwave generation, energy blasts, talking to monkeys/apes. Attack potency, at least continent level, likely much higher, can go toe-to-toe with Bakugo and other strong adversaries, planet level with Saru 003. Speed, FTL+, superior to his monkey minions who are capable of this. Lifting strength, class 100, able to lift gigantic mechs with telekinesis. Striking strength, at least continent level, likely much higher. Durability, at least continent level, likely much higher, can tank several hits from villain attacks, higher with force fields and barriers. Stamina, unknown. Range, planetary with his satellite ray. Intelligence, extremely high as he wears the peak point helmet which amplifies the mind to its peak. Weakness, when not wearing the peak point helmet his intelligence returns to normal and he becomes a monkey that can speak the human language. Standard equipment. Throne, a seat that Izuku likes to sit in. It can fire rockets and Izuku is rarely seen out of this chair. Stun clubs. Izuku can dual-wield a pair of stun clubs which are strong enough to shatter stone structures. Satellite ray, a gun that Spectre can shoot at his foes. Whatever it hits will be targeted by a beam that shoots toward a satellite to reflect off of it and come back down on its target. Name, Cuda. Age, 11. Classification, monkey. Before. Pretend the tips are short, his eyes are blue, and he has a yellow bandana around his neck. Izuku's closet companion which sees him as a big brother. Talents and abilities. As a monkey, Cuda can climb up trees and other usual things. Cuda is a young monkey who is highly curious about the world. Izuku arrived at UA and felt excited that he would be attending. He walked in and found a seat. He looked down to see the voice hero, Present Mic, arrive. PM, alright everybody, welcome to the UA entrance exam. Can I get a yeah? Everyone was silent, except for Izuku. Izuku, PM, love the enthusiasm, little listener. Mike started to explain how the exam worked and then a timer started telling them to begin with the written portion. Izuku used his high intellect to answer all the questions as well as correct the spelling errors in them, all of which were in 5 minutes. Once he was done he got out of his chair and handed the paper over to Present Mike. PM, are you sure, little listener? Izuku, yeah, my quirks boost my intelligence which really helps. PM, okay, you may go to the practical area. Izuku does as instructed and goes to the practical area. A little later everyone else arrived and Present Mike began to explain the practical exam. A boy with blue hair tried to interrupt, but Izuku was quick to use his powers to keep him quiet till Present Mike finished explaining the 0-pointer. Izuku arrived at his designated city. While waiting for the gates to open he saw a brown-haired girl that looked nervous. He teleported to her without anyone noticing but made sure he didn't startle her. Izuku, hey, are you okay? Yeah, I'm just a little nervous about not passing the exam. Izuku, hey, I think that you will do an amazing job. I can tell that your heart is set on achieving this, so you can do it. Thanks. Izuku, oh, and once the gate opens run inside. Heroes never wait for a countdown when it comes to fighting villains. Okay. Izuku goes back to where he was and once the gate opens Izuku and the girl rush in. PM, what are you all waiting for? There aren't any countdowns in real life. Go go go. Everyone rushes in and sees that some of the robots are already destroyed. Izuku was plowing through them using his telekinesis to crush them and creating clones to help save other participants. Izuku, okay, that should be enough. I wonder what the teachers think about this. In the observation room, Nizu, my, we have some very promising students today. Aizawa was looking at the screen with Izuku on it. Despite having enough points, he still helped save other participants. Aizawa, Nizu, bring up the boy on camera for midnight. It's rare for you to take an interest in someone Shota. Aizawa, whatever, anyway what can you tell me about him? Nizu, well let's see. Nizu pulls up Izuku's file. Nizu, Izuku Midoriya, age, 14, quirk, quirkless. Vlad King. Wait, how is he quirkless if he can do all that? Nizu, there's a note here. Nizu reads the note which explains how Izuku got his powers and what they are. PM, I guess that explained why he said quirk, as if he was emphasizing that it wasn't one back at the written portion. All Might, yes, he is definitely very powerful. Snipe, you know him All Might? All Might, yes, he trained with young Mirio, and I can say he might be able to fight me and easily win. Everyone was shocked at what All Might said, except for Aizawa who just grinned. Aizawa, I want him in my class. Nizu, he already is. Now for my favorite part. Nizu pushes a red button and laughs. We return to Izuku. Izuku was using his powers to save as many participants as he could until he felt the ground shake. He looked in the direction of the source and saw the zero-pointer emerge and begin to go on a rampage. Izuku, that thing might accidentally end someone. I'd better go and make sure no one is in its way. Izuku flies over and sees that the girl from before was trapped under debris, and she was in the zero-pointer's path. Izuku lands in between them and charges up an energy blast. Once it was fully charged, he shoots it at the zero-pointer and it explodes. Izuku, well that takes care of that. Now for the girl. Izuku uses his telekinesis to move the debris off of her and helps support her as the timer stops. Izuku, you okay? Yeah, but I hurt my ankle. Izuku, don't worry, Recovery Girl is on her way. They waited for a bit and just as expected Recovery Girl arrived handing out gummies to the participants. She walks over to Izuku and the girl. Are you hurt, young man? Izuku, no, but her ankle hurts. RG, well then let me see. Recovery Girl uses her quirk on the girl and it healed. RG, well now, you're free to leave whenever you want. I'm going to go see if anyone else needs help. Izuku nods and heads home. Wait, I didn't get your name. Izuku, my name is Izuku Midoriya. Izuku gave a gentle smile and left. We now go to the Midoriya residence. They were having sushi for dinner. Inko, so, how did it go? Izuku, it went really well, Mom. I kind of lost track of how many points I got, but I know I got more than enough to pass. Eri, that's amazing, Papa. Izuku, oh, and I talked to Nizu and he said that Cuda can come. Cuda, I'm so excited. Izuku, I'm glad you're happy, little brother. Once they finished eating, Izuku and Cuda returned to their room. Moments later, Inko arrived with the letter from UA. Izuku opened it and was not only happy to hear that he got in, but that he also broke UA's previous record for most points earned. Once the recording ended, Izuku and Cuda went downstairs and they all celebrated Izuku's acceptance into UA. The next day, Izuku goes to the spare room in their apartment which he converted into a laboratory. Izuku, now let's see how you're all coming along. The lights turn on revealing 8 chambers filled with monkeys wearing peak point helmets. Each group was wearing different colored shorts. The ones wearing yellow shorts were just doing normal things like eating, playing, etc. The ones wearing light blue shorts and nervous expressions were all hiding using stuff around them including large vases, tree branches, pillow forts, etc. The ones wearing blue shorts, scarves, running shoes, and goggles were running around the chamber in races and on treadmills. The ones wearing red shorts and boxing gloves with angry expressions were all fighting one another or training using the dumbbells, punching bags, and practice dummies. The ones wearing black shorts, ties, sunglasses, and carrying guns were practicing their marksmanship at a shooting range. The ones wearing white shorts and spiral glasses were doing science experiments and used bombs as weapons in testing areas. The ones wearing green shorts, special sight goggles, and backpacks were working on machines and using practice dummies to launch rockets. Finally, the monkeys wearing pink shorts and an item bag with narrow-eyed expressions were picking up stuff like apples, pencils, etc., and used them as projectiles. However, two of the monkeys stood out the most in the group. Instead of sharing the behavior of their fellow primates, one used stealth, which was far better than the light blue monkeys. He also seemed to be able to utilize tools and weapons as well as fought far better than the black, white, green, and red monkeys. The other appeared to be more skilled with guns than the black monkeys, and he also had some form of interrogation. And this caught Izuku's interest. He ran some tests on the monkeys and discovered that they had combat experience similar to that of Solid Snake and Revolver Ocelot from the Metal Gear game series. In this, Metal Gear exists and has been continuously remade for the fans. Once Izuku learned this, he designed special suits that looked exactly like Snake's and Ocelot's suits from Metal Gear Solid and weapons that had the appearance of fruit, along with a cardboard box for him to hide in, and a set of revolvers and other weapons for the other. Izuku, okay, now we just need names. May I suggest Peepo Snake and Peepo Ocelot, sir, Snake and Ocelot for short? Izuku, yes, that sounds good to you. Ocelot, what is our first assignment? Izuku, easy there soldier, I still need an assignment to give you, but I'll keep you on standby for when you are needed. Snake, got it. Izuku, this will definitely be an interesting journey. Izuku, I always thought monkeys essential. They're crude and unspeakably plain. But truly they have a glimmer of potential. If allied to my vision and brain. Izuku, I know that your powers of retention are as wet as a warthog's backside. But thick as you are, pay attention. My words are a matter of pride. It's clear from your vacant expressions. The lights are not all on upstairs. But we're talking heroes and successions. Even you can't be caught unawares. So prepare for a chance of a lifetime. Be prepared for sensational news. A shining new era is tiptoeing nearer. Random monkey, and where do we feature? Izuku, just listen to teacher. I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues, and with justice deliciously squared. Be prepared. Monkeys, it's great that we'll soon be connected with a king who'll be all-time adored. Izuku, course, quid pro quo you're expected to take certain duties on board. The future is littered with prizes. And though I'm the main addressee, the point that I must emphasize is, you won't get a sniff without me. Izuku and monkeys, so prepare for the hero of the century. Be prepared for the mightiest year. Blah, blah, blah. Meticulous planning will have food. Tenacity spanning lots of food. Decades of denial, we repeat, is simply why I'll endless treats. Be a hero undisputed, respected, saluted, and seen for the wonder I am, Yes, my dreams and ambitions are bared, be prepared. Monkeys. Yes, our dreams and ambitions are bared. Izuku and monkeys, be prepared. Blue, these apes wear running shoes, goggles, and scarves. They usually have very high-speed stats and are quite fast at moving around in comparison to others. Can also sometimes throw banana peels. Red, tough monkeys with a lot of firepower. In the first game, they used a combination of machine guns, missiles, and bombs. In later installments, this was changed to them wearing boxing gloves, and they aren't afraid to beat you up when you get too close. Their attack aggression in Ape Escape 2 is usually higher than other monkeys. Black, distinguished by their black tie and sunglasses, these monkeys carry submachine guns, and the very moment they notice you, they will fire their guns. They can't move nor turn around while firing, making their backs especially vulnerable. They also tend to have decent attack or aggression stats. White, spiral glasses wearing monkeys. They had the highest alert rate of all in the first game, known for their ability to spot the player, but in later installments, their alert rate was lowered and they became known for struggling to spot the player. In addition, they have the ability to throw bombs. Green, apes wearing special sight goggles and a backpack that can fire missiles. They seem to be more into technology and currently have the highest alert rate. Pink, They are almost like yellow pants peepo monkeys, but with thinner eyes. They can throw items at enemies. They have a pink item pack worn around their necks and seem uneasy. No color. Monkeys that wear unique costumes, making the color of the pants they wear, and the type of monkey they are, impossible to tell. While most of them will still have the properties of whatever type they are, others use the properties of the costume they wear to their advantage. These kinds of monkeys are represented by a pants icon with all the possible pants colors but with a question mark at the side of it. Name: Peepo Snake, Snake. Age: unknown. Classification: Soldier, Ape. Powers and abilities: Superhuman physical characteristics, Stealth Mastery, Weapon Mastery, Sleep Manipulation, with Banana Pistol, Explosion Manipulation, with Pineapple and Watermelon Grenades. Attack Potency: Small building level, can destroy large robots including Metal Gear itself. Speed: Supersonic, can dodge bullets. Lifting Strength: unknown. Striking Strength: Small building level. Durability: Small building level, can survive grenade explosions. Stamina: Superhuman. Range: Standard melee range to hundreds of meters. Standard equipment: Banana Pistol, Pineapple Grenades, Watermelon Grenades, Cardboard Box. Intelligence: Gifted. Weaknesses: None notable. Name: Peepo Ocelot. Age: unknown. Classification: Soldier, Ape. Powers and abilities: Superhuman physical characteristics, Martial arts. Attack Potency: Small building level, can fight on par with Peepo Snake. Speed: Supersonic, scales to his Peepo Snake who can dodge bullets. Lifting Strength: unknown. Striking Strength: Small building level. Durability: Small building level, can survive grenade explosions. Stamina: Superhuman. Range: Standard melee range and long firing range. Standard equipment: Metal Gear and revolvers. Intelligence: Gifted. Weaknesses: None notable. Now to talk about the different colors the helmets will show. Blue: this color symbolizes a relaxed mood. The monkey usually attend to his own business. Yellow: the monkey is alert. He will examine the area around him in order to see if there is someone nearby. Red: this is the fully alarmed state. The monkey is ready to fight, to run everywhere and to throw banana peels against an assailant. And those are all the Peepo monkeys that Izuku will have at his disposal. Some of you might be wondering why I put Peepo Snake in the story. Well, you'll have to wait and find out. Till next time, see ya. Izuku got dressed and was ready for his first day at UA. He put in a request that didn't need to wear a shirt during class, which Nizu accepted. Inko, do you have your pens? Izuku, yes. Inko, your erasers? Izuku, yes. Inko, your books? Izuku, yes mom, I got them all. Inko and Eri hug Izuku and Cuda. Inko, we're so proud of both of you. Eri, I hope Papa has a nice day. Izuku, I will snowball. They say their goodbyes and leave. They arrived at UA and Izuku was really excited for his first day. They searched for the classroom until they found it. Izuku, I wonder who my classmates will be? Cuda, well, I hope they are nice. Izuku opens the door to find Bakugo arguing with the blue-haired boy from the exam. Both, mind we should have known. Izuku wanted to avoid getting roped into the conversation only for the boy to notice him and head over. What are you doing with that animal in school? Izuku, for your information, he happens to be my brother, and I got permission from the principal for him to come. Oh, I see, I'm sorry for my rudeness. I am Tenya Ida from Sumai Academy. Izuku, Izuku Midoriya, Aldra Junior High. Hey, I know that name. Izuku looks behind him to see the brown-haired girl he saved from the zero-pointer. Izuku, hey, it's great to see you made it in. Yeah, I was really worried, but thanks to you I got in. Izuku, blushing well, I just gave some advice, no big deal. Cuda, mind is big brother blushing? Does he like this girl? Then that means Eri might get a mama, and I could get a sister-in-law. Anyway, my name is Achiko Uraraka. Izuku, well, it's nice to officially meet you. Bakugo, mind that damn Deku got in, I'll show him. Izuku, by the way sensei you can come out now. Everyone, huh? Aizawa, Glad to see someone noticed. Welcome to the UA Hero course. My name is Shota Aizawa and I'll be your homeroom teacher for the next 3 years. Now, normally you would be going to orientation, however, the principal gives the teachers the freedom to run the class however they want. So, for your first day, you will be having a quirk apprehension test, so put these gym clothes on and meet me outside, and don't waste time. The class does as he says and goes to the changing room. Ida, hey Midoriya, I wanted to ask this as well, but why weren't you wearing a uniform in class? Izuku, you may have noticed that I'm covered in fur. Well, this fur is what keeps me warm, so if I wear something like a shirt over my fur it'll get very hot, and I don't want to catch heatstroke on the first day. Ida, I guess that makes sense. Also, what's with that helmet anyway? Izuku, I'll explain it when we do introductions, but I'll say that it is connected to my powers. Once Izuku got dressed he went outside and waited with Aizawa. Moments later the rest of the class arrived, and Aizawa takes out a softball. Aizawa, for this test, you will be doing the same exercises you would normally do in middle school, but this time you'll be using your quirks so we can see what you can do. Aizawa gives the ball to Izuku and then speaks. Aizawa, Midoriya, you got the highest score in the entrance exam, so you can go first. Bakugo was very angry at the sound of it. Izuku, any limits? Aizawa, none, you can do it however you want, so long as you stay in the circle. Izuku went to the circle and threw the ball. He charges up an energy beam and uses it to launch the ball further away. Izuku, how was that sensei? Aizawa, impressive, you actually managed to beat All Might's record. Everyone's eyes widened. Bakugo charged at Izuku. Bakugo, Deku, how dare you? Before Aizawa could interfere Bakugo stopped in midair. He sees Izuku restraining him with his telekinesis. Izuku, it's not smart to attack someone, especially if they are in a class with one of the best heroes as their teacher. Aizawa, you can let him go now Midoriya, I'll take it from here. Izuku releases Bakugo and Aizawa uses his scarf to restrain him. Aizawa, now, let's continue with the test. Also the person in last place will be expelled. During the 100-meter run, Izuku used his enhanced speed to keep up with Bakugo. In the standing long jump, Izuku floated over the pole. In the grip strength, Izuku used his telekinesis to get a good score right behind the six-armed boy. And in the repeated side step, he got an average score due to his superhuman reflexes. As for Cuda, he was watching and cheering Izuku on using signs he made. When the scores were announced, Izuku got 4th place, which he felt proud of. And the person in last place was someone named Minor Mineta. Aizawa, normally I would say that this was a ruse to get you all to do your best, but due to some reports of him harassing women. Minor Mineta, you are expelled. Izuku knew that it wasn't a ruse because he read Aizawa's mind earlier, and he was glad that the pervert was gone. They all head back to class and Aizawa gets into his sleeping bag. Aizawa, alright, since it is your first day, feel free to introduce yourselves, then once you're done you are free to leave. Everyone took turns saying their names and explaining their quirks. And now it was Izuku's turn. Izuku, my name is Izuku Midoriya, and this is Cuda, my little monkey brother. As for my quirk, well I'm technically quirkless. Ida, what do you mean technically quirkless? Izuku begins to explain how he got his powers, which everyone was amazed by. Izuku, oh, and Kaken, if you're thinking that I lied to you about my powers being a quirk, I never said that it was, so that means you can't call me out about it. Bakugo just growled in frustration. Izuku, okay sensei, we're done. Aizawa, good, you are free to go home. Izuku and Cuda return home with a very happy Inko and Eri. They told them about their day, and how excited they'll be for the next 3 years at UA. Izuku and Cuda were in class waiting for their next teacher to arrive. Suddenly the door bursts open revealing All Might in his Silver Age costume. I am here. Walking through the door like a hero. Everyone, All Might. That's right, today we'll be doing hero training. But what's a hero without a costume? All Might pushes a button which reveals a compartment with 19 briefcases each with a different seat number. Everyone gets their costume and heads to the changing room. We now go to Fake City Gamma where everyone is in costume. You all look very plus ultra. They say the clothes make the man, and you're the proof. Izuku is wearing a long red cape, dark pants, black leather boots, and a black belt with white decals on it. Pick either one, I know they're the same outfit, but I can't decide which image looks better. Izuku was partnered with Achiko and they were going against Bakugo and Ida. Cuda was in the observation room with the rest of the students and All Might. Achiko, do you have a plan? Izuku, yes, Bakugo will obviously try to come after me, so while I keep him busy, you head for the bomb. Achiko, you sure you'll be okay? Izuku, yes, I can handle him. Hero team may enter. Izuku and Achiko enter the building and start searching for the bomb, just as Izuku predicted. Bakugo goes straight for him. He tells Achiko to go for the bomb and that he will assist her when he's done. Bakugo, you think you can take me down? Izuku, I don't think I can, I know I can. Izuku creates clones of himself to catch Bakugo off guard. Once they disappear, Izuku sends a small energy blast in the form of purple slashes which manages to cut Bakugo a bit. Bakugo tries to send an explosion only for Izuku to knock it back using one of his stun clubs. Just as Izuku was about to tell Bakugo to surrender, he smirked. Bakugo, you know how my quirk works? Then you should know that these gauntlets have been storing up my sweat. Izuku, mind, he's not seriously going to do that, is he? Young Bakugo, don't, it will end him. Bakugo, not if he dodges. He pulls the pin and a large explosion is released. Mina, no, Midababe isn't dead, right? Zero, no one can handle a blast like that. Just as All Might was about to end the match, Momo stopped him. Momo, sir, look. They look at the monitor and see a figure as the smoke clears. It is Izuku. Denki, he's alive. Tokoyami, but how? Bakugo grits his teeth while Izuku grins. Bakugo, how is this possible? Bakugo launches another weak explosion only for it to blow up, but Izuku doesn't even have a scratch. Izuku, good thing I created this force field before the attack hit me, otherwise I would have been a dead man. Young Bakugo, that was very reckless. If you try something like that again, I will end the match. Bakugo, fine, then I'll just have to end you the hard way. Izuku, oh Kaken, do you really think you stand a chance against me? Izuku smirked and gave a sinister look. Izuku, you're dead wrong, old friend. Izuku then uses his telekinesis on the debris and launches it at Bakugo, burying him under a mountain of rubble. Izuku, like I said, you never had a chance. Bakugo has been captured and the bomb has been deactivated, the hero team wins. Izuku, that was fun, let's do it again sometime, Kaken. Bakugo, gore, I'll get you for this, Deku. Izuku, doubtful. After the class ended, everyone headed to the cafeteria with Izuku, Cuda, Achiko, and Ida sitting at the table talking about why they want to be a hero. Izuku, hey Ida, why did you want to be a hero? Ida, well, it's because of my brother, he was my inspiration since I was young. Cuda, wow, you must be proud of him. Ida, thanks, what about you, Midoriya? Izuku, well, my reason for being a hero was because of All Might. When I was a kid, I watches a video about his debut on my computer. When I saw how he smiled when he saved all those people, that was when I realized I wanted to be a hero who saves everyone with a smile so that they can feel safe knowing that someone is there for them. Achiko, blushing, wow, that's beautiful. Izuku, yeah, that's the kind of hero I want to be. Ida, so since your transformation was caused due to putting on the helmet and having some of Kuda's hair on your head, does that make you his biological big brother? Izuku, yes, but he already saw me as his big brother after Mom and I adopted him from that circus. Achiko, too bad it got shut down, I always loved going there as a kid. They all shared a laugh until the alarm went off. The students were panicking about a break-in only for Izuku to discover that it was the press that got in. Ida managed to help calm everyone down and they headed back to their classrooms. But something was bothering Izuku about the whole thing. Izuku, mind, how did the reporters break in anyway? Something tells me that there's gonna be trouble at the USJ, and I might need Snake's infiltration skills for a mission. Once Izuku returns home, he tells Snake about this and he agrees to help in any way he can. Ocelot was a bit upset that he wasn't picked, but he felt better after Izuku told him that Nizu recommended that he bring a few monkeys along with him on the field trip. Izuku was on the bus heading to the USJ. Cuda stayed home because Izuku didn't want him to get lost or injured in one of the simulations. Tsuyu, hey Midoriya, can I ask you something? Izuku, sure, what is it? Tsuyu, what happens when you take the helmet off or when it gets damaged? Izuku, well, the thing is whenever I take the helmet off I don't turn back to normal, instead I turn into a monkey. The downside is I can't use my powers when that happens, and my intellect reverts to my original intellect, but the good thing about it is that I have the same skills as a normal monkey, including climbing. As for when the helmet gets damaged, I tried several methods to see how durable it is, and every time it managed to withstand it, I later discovered that it was made from a rare alloy that is resistant to anything, including heat and magnetism, so it's basically indestructible. Ijiro, wow, that sounds cool Midobro, all my quirk can do is harden my body. Izuku, hey, don't go bringing yourself down, with something like that you can become the ultimate defense. Ijiro, thanks Midobro. Aizawa, alright everyone, you can stop talking, we're here. Everyone gets off the bus where they meet the space hero, 13. She proceeds to talk about how quirks can be dangerous if not used properly. Aizawa, where's All Might? 13. Oh, he got called away on an important matter. 13 raises 3 fingers, which Izuku knew meant that he used up his 3-hour time limit. Aizawa, Sai should have known. They all enter the USJ and Izuku notices something at the Central Plaza. Ijiro, cool, I didn't know you had fake villains. Aizawa, what? Izuku, those aren't fake, we're under attack. Aizawa, 13, protect the students. Aizawa goes down to fight off the villains. Unfortunately, the mist villain who introduced himself as Kurogiri manages to teleport some of the students to the various rescue simulations through the USJ. Luckily Izuku wasn't one of them. He used his powers to prevent Kurogiri from stopping Ida from escaping. He was also able to prevent 13 from accidentally injuring herself, but he knew that Aizawa wouldn't be able to handle all those villains alone. He teleports to Aizawa's side and gets into a fighting stance. Aizawa, I thought I told you to stay with the class. Izuku, the mist villain teleported some of the students to the different zones. Whatever that creature is, it's too strong even for you. Aizawa, alright, just don't get in my way. Izuku, I won't sensei. And I had some of my monkeys stay with the students to protect them. Ocelot is with 13 and the rest of the class at the entrance. Izuku helps Aizawa fight off the villains, while the lead villains are talking. Shigaraki, I thought you separated them, where did he come from? Kurogiri, I did, he was with the group that didn't get teleported. That's not the only problem. 4 figures were standing alongside the villains, and they all appeared to be primates. The 4 primates that appeared to be the leaders all appeared to be different species, but they all had a red gem-like device on their heads that looked like the sirens on peak point helmets. The first primate appeared to be a ring-tailed lemur, and the leader of the group had a mix of black, dark gray, and light gray fur. He had a cold expression similar to Shoto, only way more menacing. The second appeared to be a female albino gorilla with gray skin and markings all over her body. Some of the furs even stood up straight, appearing like spikes. The third primate appeared to be a lar gibbon with twitching eyes, lanky arms, and a toothy grin. He has a hunchback, covered with thick green spines that line it. He boasts 2 tall ears that stick up on either side of his head, which appears to have a steel plate that is similar in design to the peak point helmet with an eyepiece over his right eye. His fur is a deep gray and his skin is a dark verdant green. The last primate appeared to be an odd, floating creature with bulging eyes, puffy lips, and a long dangling tail. Its eyes never look at the same place, similar to a chameleon, right under the small stubs that make up its ears. It has bumps and craters all over its back. Along with them were 3 black monkeys who wore white shorts that looked like boxers and peak point helmets that were black instead of white, with red sirens. The one in red's hands, feet, and face are red. He has yellow eyes. The blue one had deep blue skin instead of a natural skin tone, a mouth full of sharp white teeth, and smaller, glowing green eyes. Finally, the yellow one's fur is black instead of brown, and his hands, feet, and face are yellow. He doesn't have a mouth. He has red eyes. Meta, it seems that one of them has a peak point helmet, but it's a human with monkey DNA. Crack, shall we capture him and take it apart? J, No, Master only wants us to help the League, so we can't focus on some random student. Gee, so long as no one dies, I'll be fine. Tron read. That boy is interesting, he doesn't seem to be controlled by the helmet, perhaps he can? Tron yellow. Whisper quiet brother, you don't want him to hear. Tron blue. Whisper he's right, let's just play along for now. J, G, go assist Nomu, I'll deal with the boy. J, Meta, Crack deal with the students at the entrance. Crack, it shall be done. Meta, yes sir. G goes to help Nomu, Crack, and Meta go to the students and the entrance, and J goes to Izuku. Izuku, who are you and why are you here? J, we are the Neo-Pipitrons, I am J, the leader of this group. As for why, let's just say our creator wants us to help in destroying the symbol of peace. Izuku, I won't let you do it. J, well then, come at me and let's make this quick because I hate prolonged battles. Izuku, I won't let you hurt anyone. J smirked and they both got into a battle stance. They then attacked one another. Izuku uses his clones to try and catch him off guard, but J is easily able to tell which is the real one. Izuku then tries to use his telekinesis, but J counters it by using his own. Izuku was caught between a rock and a hard place. He had never met someone who was able to counter his every move. Just as J was about to deliver the finishing blow, the doors to the USA burst open, revealing All Might. Izuku took the opportunity to catch J off guard and was able to knock him down before he returned to the villains. All Might engaged the Nomu while Izuku was struggling to get to him. That was until the three monkeys appeared in front of him and gave him an injection. Izuku thought it was poison only to discover that it was a healing agent. He gets up and faces the monkeys. Izuku, why did you do that? Tron read, you might be the best chance we have at stopping the Master from ending our fellow Pipitrons. Izuku, Master? Tron blue. He created us to serve his own twisted ambitions, but failure is a death penalty to the weak in his eyes. Izuku, so why stay on his side? Tron yellow, we can't let him hurt J and the others, they are like family to us. Tron red, but if they believe you captured us. Izuku, I see, so you want to fake being defeated to join the heroes. Tron blue, yes, please help us. Izuku, don't worry, I will. They got into fighting stances and proceeded to fight each other. They used actual attacks to make it appear convincing. Aizawa could tell that they were holding back and knew what they were doing. Izuku managed to use a single attack to knock all three of the Pipitrons down. At the same time, All Might was able to knock the Nomu out of the USJ, but G was able to escape before she got seriously injured. Shigaraki, no, you cheated, you must have. Kurogiri, young master, we must leave. Crack, master won't be happy about the Pipitrons' defeat. Kurogiri, shall I teleport them as well? J, no, the hero student will be pulled in too. I could tell he wasn't strong enough yet. And it would be too risky. Kurogiri, very well. G, mind, I feel bad leaving them with the heroes. J, mind, don't worry, that boy is the key to our salvation. Izuku was able to listen in on the mental conversation and could tell that they would have rather surrendered than stay with their master. The villains warped away, leaving the heroes to clean up the mess. Izuku and Aizawa managed to convince the police to turn the Pipitrons over to UA to try and get information from them. After a bit of interrogation, the Pipitrons revealed all they knew about their creator, after which they were placed in villain rehab so they could be kept under constant surveillance for their safety and the safety of the students. Izuku also asked for the Pipitrons to be placed in his care since he knew most of what was needed to look after them, which the principal agreed to. We now go to a meeting with the teachers. Nizu, I've called this meeting to discuss what happened at the USJ. 13. The incident was written off as a failure for the villains, but something tells me that they will try to do something like this again. Aizawa, we were lucky enough that Midoriya was able to prevent me and 13 from getting seriously injured. And they knew that I was supposed to be there, so they must have stolen the files about the event during the break-in. Nizu, what we should also figure out is if these Pipitrons are really allied with these villains, and for what purpose. That won't be necessary. The faculty looks in the direction of the door and Izuku comes in sitting on what appears to be a throne that seems to hover, appearing almost as if they were in the presence of a king. Pick whichever you want, though I do like the anime version best. Power Loader, Cool Chair Midoriya. Izuku, thank you sir, I made it myself. Power Loader, if you need any new gear, feel free to stop by the support course. Izuku, I'll keep it in mind. Nizu, ahem, I'd hate to interrupt this conversation, but what did you mean Midoriya? Izuku, ah right, as you know I brought a few monkeys with me to the USJ. One of them happens to be an infiltration specialist named Peepo Snake, or Snake for short. He was close by when the villains opened their portal and was pulled in with them. The helmet also contains a microphone and camera which caught their entire conversation before they teleported to another location and left him behind. Aizawa, well then care to show us? Izuku, of course. Izuku pulled up a monitor and everyone was looking at it. The video feed showed the League, the Pipitrons, and a man who wore a black double-breasted suit with golden buttons and a black dress shirt together with a yellow tie. He also wore sunglasses. Mystery Man. I can't believe this, not only did you fail this one simple mission, but you also lost the Pipitrons. Jay, you can't blame us, one of them was wearing a peak point helmet, and one of our old ones no less. Everyone was shocked, even Izuku was surprised by this discovery. Mystery Man, I won't accept another failure, but to ensure it doesn't happen again. The man pulls out a strange gun and points it at a random villain. Random villain. No, sir please don't The villain screamed in agony as he was now reduced to a purple goo. G tried to intervene, but Jay kept her back. Everyone in the meeting room watched in horror and disgust at how poorly he treated his followers. Mystery Man, I hope you won't disappoint me. I created you, and I can end you. Pipitrons, yes sir. Mystery Man, good, be lucky that those three were expendable. Now clean this up and warp us back to the hideout. Kurogiri, why yes sir. Kurogiri opens a portal and they walk through, leaving Snake in his box. Before the video feed cuts off, it catches a glimpse of a large town in Yokohama. Snipe, I know that location, it's Kamino Ward. Ectoplasm, well, that narrows down our search, but it would be too risky to send more heroes to patrol the area. Nizu, agreed, since we know that this Mystery Man doesn't accept the failure of his underlings, it would only put them at risk of suffering the same fate. Izuku, if I may sir, I might have a better understanding of who and what these Pipitrons are. Nizu, go on. Izuku, I ran some tests on hair samples that were retrieved from the USJ, and they are not human, they are 100% primates. However, it seems that they were altered on a genetic level. Nizu, are they like your monkeys? Izuku, only the smaller ones. As for the other four, I ran an analysis and discovered that Meta is a tarsia, Crack is a lar gibbon, G is a gorilla, and J is a ring-tailed lemur, while the other three are normal monkeys. As for their powers, they aren't quirks. The genetic alterations seem to have given them these abilities. They also don't appear content with the man's methods of ensuring their loyalty, seeing as how G tried to stop what he was doing, but J stopped her, almost as if he was preventing her from trying to meet the same fate. Aizawa, and seeing as how they caused so much destruction, we need to put the students' safety as our top priority. Cementos, this is why Nizu asked me to begin construction on the dorms. Izuku, if I may, can you give me an extra room? I'll need somewhere to set up my lab. Nizu, I'll have it arranged by then. Izuku, thank you sir, and hopefully, I'll have something ready for in case they try to attack the sports festival. All Might, good to hear young Midoriya. Izuku, with that out of the way I shall be on my way. Izuku leaves the room and recalls Snake to his apartment. Midnight, he's a really good boy if he wants to protect his class. Nizu, yes, and with any luck we can stop the League from becoming too much of a threat. Aizawa, now let's get back to the matter at hand. And that will be all for now. If any of you have an idea of what Izuku will come up with, I won't stop you from spoiling it. Till next time. Dorms and the new hero team. Izuku was at the newly built dorms waiting for Aizawa to arrive. Cuda and Eri were with him. He had explained to the teachers and his class about Eri's situation, so they allowed her to live with him. After they all finished setting up their room, Izuku called everyone including Aizawa, All Might, and Principal Nizu to his room. Aizawa, alright Midoriya, what did you call us here for? Izuku, I called you here to show you what I came up with. Because of the USJ incident, I figured it would be safer to have more heroes around, but since Nizu can't hire anymore, I figured that I would help with that. Izuku guided them to the room where he set up his lab, and everyone was amazed by it. Denki, how is it bigger inside? Izuku, a spatial distortion field. It basically warps the interior of the room to make it bigger than the exterior without affecting the rest of the building. Nizu, impressive. I must say this is indeed impressive. If the support course was here, they might not want to leave. Izuku, can't say I blame them. Now where is Peepo? Izuku, there you are. Everyone followed Izuku's gaze to see a baby monkey wearing a redesigned peak point helmet and a diaper held up by strap-on suspenders. He also has small wings on his back and a curl of brown fur coming out from under his helmet. Izuku, everyone, meet Papachi. I made him to be a companion to our class. His helmet also gathers data so the other monkeys will have a better understanding of everyone here. Eri, I'm a big sister? Papachi, Peepo. Papachi then hugs Eri. Izuku, that's right, and Mom was also very happy when she. Mina, he's so cute. Are the wings real? Izuku, yes, they are. I was fiddling around with some DNA samples, and I figured he might act like a guardian angel who tries to help the students when they're in danger. Aizawa, how exactly? Izuku, well, Papachi has a small backpack that carries a few supplies like rations and medical supplies for rescues, and he is quite intelligent, not on the same level as the rest of the monkeys, but still a bit more advanced than either a human or monkey baby. He can also understand the human language, so you should be able to give him a few tasks to do. Oh, before I forget, I may have accidentally added a growth acceleration formula that will accelerate his aging process until he's about Eri's age. Ida, that sounds amazing. Midoriya. Ijiro, that's so manly. Achiko, I hope this will help us. Shoji, he's definitely going to bring the entire class happiness. Everyone agreed and Izuku smiled. Izuku, well, I'm glad to hear you all agree. Now for the real reason I asked for you all. Everyone follows Izuku to a small testing area with 5 monkeys in it, one of which was a female, and one was very old. Izuku, you see, these 5 are much different from the rest of the monkeys. How so? Izuku, a few months before I joined UA, I was testing how the monkeys reacted to various stimuli, such as television programs. I picked a few programs for them to watch. Most of the monkeys didn't pay any mind to it, but these 5 all had different reactions. Izuku pulls up video footage of the monkeys. Izuku, when I put on a police movie, the blue monkey reacted positively. Not only that, but he was faster than any other blue monkey, and he also seemed to show an interest in the pink monkey. When I showed a sumo tournament, the yellow monkey did the same as the wrestler. When I showed a film about a pop idol, the pink monkey started singing softly, but I also learned that she had a big temper after I turned the TV off. The white monkey was interested in a science program. I left for a bit and came back to find he made a small robot out of various parts that were in his room. I also learned that he was incredibly old as well, which explained his slow movement and poor eyesight. Finally was the red monkey. When I put up a video of All Might's debut, he had a very positive reaction. He even showed a positive reaction when I put up a program about pro wrestling and a kung fu movie. Nizu, I see where you're going with this. You want to turn these monkeys into heroes with powers based on the things they admire. Izuku, yes, but I won't be doing experiments on them to do that. I'm not a monster. Instead, I'm going to feed them these. Izuku pulls out a banana that emits a faint glow. Izuku, I call it the V-Z banana. I ran some tests on a banana and discovered a way to create something close to an artificial quirk when it is consumed. Unfortunately, it only works on primates like these 5. How did you manage to do this? Izuku, you can thank the Pipitrons. They provided me with enough information to create a safer method of giving apes powers. Momo, are you sure it's safe? Izuku, yep, I took every test and they all came out positive. But just in case, I'll only feed them 1 V-Z banana each and work from there. Izuku opens the kennels and the monkeys all go to their food bowls. Once they ate the V-Z banana, they started to change. The blue monkey got taller with longer limbs. The yellow monkey got bigger and more bloated. Yellow hair began to form in his head, and his skin turned yellow, and the pink monkey grew to about the same size as a teenager with pink fur. She had short blonde hair that frames her face. The white monkey grew as well. Some of his hair grew into 2 long white sideburns and a white goatee with crooked teeth. Finally, the red monkey grew to about 2/3 the size of the yellow monkey with a muscular build and a smile that looked almost similar to All Might. Izuku, okay, now that that's done, let's wait for them to get dressed, and then I can introduce you. After a while, the monkeys exit the room. Izuku, allow me to introduce you to the Freaky Monkey 5. The blue monkey wore a blue one-piece outfit resembling a jumpsuit, with fingerless gloves, steel knee pads, and blue and silver sneakers. He wears a blue peak point helmet modified to cover one eye with a big white bee emblem on the front. His badge is located on his belt, serving as the buckle. Blue, name's Blue, the speed demon of the Freaky Monkey 5. Izuku, I increased his leg strength so he is now able to run much faster than before. The yellow monkey is wearing a peepo helmet that is similar to the average helmet worn by the regular monkeys except for the light being suspended above it by a spring, and the red wine on the front. He also wears a yellow flower crown on his helmet. Dark green strands of hair can be seen poking out from under his helmet. Yellow, I'm Yellow, the sparkling gem of the Freaky Monkey 5. Ijiro, whisper what's wrong with him. Izuku, whisper no idea. To be honest, even I'm not used to it, but I'm trying my best to keep my lunch down, and be sure to keep him far away from Eri. I don't want to ruin her innocence. Izuku clears his throat and begins to explain Yellow's powers. Izuku, as you can see, Yellow's preferred form of combat is through the Japanese art of sumo wrestling, so the Vitazi banana also gave him some added physical strength, and the added body mass can absorb blunt attacks. The pink monkey wore a simple pink tank top and a skirt with a dark brown belt that had a gold buckle in the center. She also had a straw hat with a peak point helmet built into it and a pair of brown sandals with silver clasps around her ankles. Pink, I'm Pink, the singing sensation of the Freaky Monkey 5. Nice to meet you all. She makes a cute pose which causes some of the girls' eyes to sparkle and making Blue blush. Izuku, her newly developed vocal cords can be used as both an attack and a way of hypnotizing anyone who hears her singing, making the listeners feel attracted to her like fans would. The white monkey has red and green goggles, similar to those green pants monkeys wear. Following this trend, he also has a silver backpack that can shoot missiles. The rest of his helmet is silver and has 2 blue bars sticking out towards the top which act as his alert lights. He wears white shorts and a white loincloth beneath a silver belt and the buckle, a staple of the Freaky Monkey 5. White, I am the awfully talented white monkey of the Freaky Monkey 5. Izuku, I boosted his intelligence as well as his understanding of machines and schematics. Finally, the red monkey was wearing a superhero-themed costume, which included red boots and gloves, a red leotard with the number 1 in the center, a belt and buckle, blue shoulder pads, a red and white cape and collar, and finally a modified peak point helmet with antennae and the letter R in the center and green goggles. Red. I'm Red, the leader of the Freaky 5, and since I'm the leader, I'm super strong. These muscles are more than the villains can handle, kids. Yeah. Izuku, I increased his muscle mass to give him superhuman strength and an ability to fly so he wouldn't risk straining his muscles. So what do you think? Nizu, this is definitely a step in the right direction, but we can't risk the league finding out about them. Izuku, don't worry, I thought about that. Since they don't know that the 5 even exist, we'll keep them secret until they are needed. Nizu, very well, but they'll have to stay here so we can monitor them. Izuku, no problem, and the Pipitrons already helped me set up their new rooms. Aizawa, well, with that done, you might as well start training for the sports festival. Izuku, yes sir. They leave the lab and Izuku goes to train while the 5 are watching them and helping them improve what they could already do. Durability, high. Stamina, moderate. Range, low. Intelligence, weakness, sharp objects. Name, Pink Monkey. Gender, female. Age, unknown. Classification, monkey. Powers and abilities, short-range teleportation, sonic screaming, power boost when angered. Attack potency, very powerful when in her dark form. Lifting strength, striking strength, high. Durability, stamina, high. Range, Intelligence, moderate. Weakness, her temper. White monkey. Tender. Age, unknown. Classification, monkey. Powers and abilities, master engineering, shield projection. Attack potency, very dangerous when using his inventions. Lifting strength, striking strength, low. Durability, stamina, moderate. Range, moderate. Intelligence, high. Weakness, old age, too reliant on his machines. Name, red monkey. Tender. Age, unknown. Classification, monkey. Powers and abilities, superhuman strength, flight. Attack potency, good in hand-to-hand combat and keeping enemies at a distance. Speed, moderate. Lifting strength, high. Striking strength, high. Durability, high. Stamina, moderate. Range, high. Intelligence, moderate. Weakness, easily exhausted. Now let's continue with the Pipitrons. Name, red Pipitron, blue Pipitron, yellow Pipitron, red. P-blue. P-yellow. Fender. Age, unknown. Classification, monkeys. Powers and abilities, Tron red. He can strike hard. Once he gets close enough to a target, he's untouchable. Tron blue, his attacks are balanced. His dash hoop is super high speed. Tron yellow, his projectile attack is powerful. You should keep your distance when he's attacking. Attack potency, very dangerous when working together. Speed, moderate. Lifting strength, striking strength, moderate. Durability, stamina, moderate. Intelligence, moderate. Weakness, unknown. Name, Pipitron meta. Fender. Age, unknown. Classification, Tarsia. Powers and abilities, shape-shifting. Attack potency, prefers to break his foes psychologically before beating them physically. Speed, moderate. Lifting strength, striking strength, high. Durability, moderate. Stamina, moderate. Intelligence, high. Likes giraffes. Weakness, cowardly and too reliant on other members of his team. Name, Pipitron crack. Fender. Age, unknown. Classification, Lar Gibbon. Powers and abilities, eyepiece, shield projection, hacking. Attack potency, projects an energy beam from his eyepiece, creating a holding shield. Speed, moderate. Lifting strength, striking strength, moderate. Durability, stamina, high. Range, high. Intelligence, high. Weakness, easily irritated. Name, Pipitron G. Gender, female. Age, unknown. Classification, gorilla. Powers and abilities, superhuman strength. Attack potency, good in hand-to-hand combat. Lifting strength, high. Striking strength, high. Durability, high. Stamina, high. Intelligence, moderate. Weakness, not being able to help her friends. Name, Pipitron JD. Fender. Age, unknown. Classification, ring-tailed lemur. Powers and abilities, telepathy, mind control, teleportation, and superhuman characteristics. Attack potency, very skilled and dangerous in combat. Lifting strength, high. Striking strength, high. Durability, high. Stamina, high. Range, high. Intelligence, high. Likes, a challenge, entertaining battles. Dislikes, a one-sided matches. Weakness, unknown. Izuku was waiting in line with the rest of his class. He was sitting on his throne looking like a king. Denki, hey Midoriya, why are you bringing that chair along? Izuku, first off it's a throne, and second, because there's a chance that they'll call someone from each class to make a speech, and if they call me, I want to make a good impression. Momo, oh, I get it. Since the sports festival is also meant to show the heroes what we are capable of, you want them to see what a great mind you have. Tsuyu, but isn't it illegal to bring support gear? Izuku, yes, but only if it was made by someone else. Since I made this in my stun clubs, the rule doesn't apply. Tokoyami, good to know. By the way, what's with the monkey holding the camera? Tokoyami points to a yellow monkey holding a camera. Izuku, oh, the camera sends live footage to my other monkeys back at the lab. It's a way of helping them understand the people they might work with. Achiko, so, like your own TV program, sounds nice. Izuku, well, thank you. Izuku blushes a bit and so does Achiko. Shoto, hey Midoriya, you seem like a very powerful student, but in a real fight I'm the strongest, so I'm declaring war on you. Izuku, okay, I know you're into this too, but in all seriousness can you not just say that we're just trying to have a good time? Ijiro, yeah, lighten up Todoroki bro, there's no need to get hostile. Shoto just groaned and walked back to his place. The students are then called into the big stadium with a large crowd. Izuku could see Cuda, Eri, and Inko in the stands, and he was really happy to see them. Present Mike announced the beginning of the sports festival and Midnight, who was the referee, called Izuku up to make a speech. Izuku floated to the pedestal and then he spoke. Izuku, ever since I was young I always dreamed of a world where people don't get discriminated for what quirk they were born with, or if they were born quirkless. I always hoped that when I become a hero, I would be the kind of person who would be willing to help everyone, and seeing how far everyone has come, I can definitely say that everyone here has a chance to achieve their own dreams, so let's all push to help those in need, go beyond. Everyone, plus ultra. Izuku returns to his class with everyone cheering. Midnight, that was amazing Midoriya, now let's see what the first challenge will be. Midnight spins the wheel. Midnight, and it's in obstacle course. Everyone got in their places and Present Mike spoke. PM, on your marks, get set, go. Everyone rushes into the obstacle course. Some manage to get out of the tunnel before Shoto freezes the exit. When Izuku reached the robot inferno, he used his powers to knock the robots down and to push the robots that Shoto froze away. When they reached the drop, Izuku used his levitation to get across, and finally he reached the minefield. Izuku decided to toy with them a bit and used energy balls to trigger the mines while levitating over them, finishing in first place. PM. Congratulations Izuku Midoriya from 1A. Everyone cheered for Izuku's accomplishment. Back at the lab, all the monkeys and the Freaky Monkey 5 cheered for the victory of their leader. White. An excellent display of power and strategic thinking Izuku. Red. Yeah, that was awesome. Pink. I really liked it. Blue. Now that was some good running. Yellow, ooh, I'm shaking with anticipation. Tron Red, well done Midoriya. Tron Blue, quite impressive. Tron Yellow, that was amazing. Back at the stadium. Cuda, that's my big brother. Eri, yay papa. Inko, that was amazing Izuku. Izuku was really happy that he won, but he had a feeling that keeping his victory wouldn't be easy. Midnight announced that part of the next challenge would involve a point system organized via which place each of the students got, with first place being worth 1. Izuku Midoriya wins. The crowd cheers and Izuku helps Shoto to Recovery Girl's office. Shoto, thanks again Midoriya. Izuku, no problem. They walk past Endeavor, who thanks Izuku for helping Shoto, as well as talks with Shoto about reconnecting, only this time, Shoto accepts it. Izuku returned to the class to watch the rest of the battles unfold. On the third round Izuku won by default since Ito was called away to see his brother who suffered an injury during his patrol in Hosu. Izuku's final opponent would be decided after Achiko's battle with Bakugo. Unfortunately, Bakugo wanted to hurt Izuku and brutally injured Achiko to illustrate his point. Izuku was in Recovery Girl's office holding Achiko's hand. Izuku, is she going to be okay? She'll be better after some rest, but I'm very angry at what that boy did to her. Izuku, don't worry, during our match, I'll make his battle with me very painful. Izuku let out a slight aura of bloodlust which Recovery Girl could feel, and it was intimidating. Izuku leaves the office with Recovery Girl tending to Achiko. Mind that Bakugo boy is going to be in a lot of trouble when he gets here, but I'm sure Midoriya will teach him a good lesson when he's done. Izuku enters the arena and faces Bakugo with a very annoyed expression. Midnight, are both participants ready? Izuku, yes. Bakugo, let's get this over with. Midnight, then begin. Bakugo, I've been waiting for this moment, Deku. Izuku, well, don't leave me hanging, come at me, Pomeranian. Bakugo was furious at the comment and ignited his explosions and charges at Izuku only for him to dodge out of the way. Izuku, oh, and Bakugo, consider this payback for Achiko. Izuku teleports behind Bakugo and uses his energy blast to knock Bakugo down. Bakugo tries to attack Izuku, but he teleports away and creates 12 clones. Izuku, try and find me Bakugo. Bakugo was now enraged and just attacked the clones left and right only to miss the real one every time. While he was distracted, Izuku created a shockwave that finally managed to send him out of the ring. Midnight, Katsuki Bakugo is out of the ring. The winner of this match and the sports festival is Izuku Midoriya. The crowd cheers for Izuku as he leaves the arena to go see Achiko in Recovery Girl's office. Izuku, how is she? RG, she woke up a while ago and watched the whole fight. Gotta say, you didn't give that boy a chance to recover. Izuku, he hurt my Achiko, I was just paying him back in full. RG, well, you can go and talk to her, but once you're called back for the award ceremony, you'll have to leave. Izuku, okay. Recovery Girl leaves to tend to Bakugo, who just arrived, and Izuku was talking with Achiko. She was a bit upset with him for being so rough with Bakugo, but she understood why he did it. After they were done, Izuku returned to the arena and was instructed to go to the first place podium. Shoto was on the third place podium, and Bakugo was chained to a stone block on the second place podium. All Might arrives with the 3 medals. He began to hand out the medals and congratulate the participants. Shoto accepted his medal proudly. Bakugo was still angry as always, and All Might had to force it around his neck. Finally was Izuku, who All Might congratulated and gave him his first place medal. Well done, young Midoriya, I'm very proud of you. Izuku, thank you, sir, this is an honor. And with that the sports festival comes to a close. Let's give a round of applause to our students. Plus, everyone, Ultra. Everyone cheers and the students leave the stadium. Izuku arrived at the support course and he was really excited to get his new ideas approved by Power Loader. Power Loader, Midoriya, good to see you. May told me you would be coming, come in. Izuku, thank you, sir. May, hey Midoriya, did you bring any new blueprints for us? Izuku, as a matter of fact I did, I even designed how they should look. Power Loader, well, go on and show us. Izuku, right, my first idea is a monkey-sized UFO, which I call the monkey UFO. Izuku, and this is what it will look like in attack mode. Power Loader, impressive, and since the existence of aliens has been proven to be only science fiction, it could work. What else do you have? Izuku, my next idea is a walking mech. May, that looks cool, could be useful against strength-enhancing quirks. Izuku, my next idea is more of a defense system, I call it the monkey cannon, it shoots dummy missiles and a rubber cannonball. Power Loader, good, and since it looks intimidating the villains will think twice before entering the campus. Izuku, my final idea is a robo-bull that a monkey drives. Power Loader, not sure how this will help, but we'll see what we can do. Izuku, oh, before I forget, something tells me that the league's boss will be very powerful. So I want you to help create something that can overpower him. This is my idea, I call it the satellite laser. It's a laser cannon that fires at a remote-controlled satellite which reflects the laser and hits the target. May? Do you have a picture of what the satellite should look like? Izuku, yeah, I designed it myself. Izuku holds out the schematics showing the satellite. May, I think we can make something like this, but why would you need it? Izuku, I figured that there are some very powerful villains in Japan, so this will act as a backup plan if we can't defeat them on our own. Power Loader, I'll have to talk to Nizu about this, but we'll work on your other projects right away. Izuku, thank you, sir, I hope it will help a lot of people. Izuku leaves the support course and heads back to the dorms to rest up for the next day. Izuku woke up the next day and got dressed. He asked the girls to look after Eri for the day since he was going on his first date with Achiko. He arrived at her dorm room and knocked. Achiko, who is it? Izuku, it's me, are you ready? Achiko, almost. Izuku waited a few seconds and then the door opened revealing Achiko wearing a cute dress that made Izuku blush. Achiko, so, how do I look? Izuku, you look really cute, Achiko. Achiko, thank you, shall we? Izuku takes her hand and they walk out. Since it's the weekend they don't have school for the day. They headed to a nice restaurant and Izuku ordered their meals. Achiko, you didn't have to. Izuku, Yeah, but I really want the state to go well. Achiko, thank you. A little later the food arrives and they eat and talk about each other. They both enjoyed the company very much, and Izuku was happy. After they left they headed to Dagoba Beach and watched the beautiful moonlight on the water. Achiko, this has been the best afternoon ever. Thanks Izuku, no problem, and that's a really cute nickname. They stare into each other's eyes, get closer to one another, and then they kiss passionately. Achiko, that was amazing. Izuku, yeah, let's head on back to the dorms. Achiko agrees and they head back to the dorms. Once they arrived they headed back to their rooms and went to sleep. The next morning the girls started asking Izuku and Achiko how their date was, and let's just say that they turned redder than Ijiro's hair. Izuku was in class waiting for Aizawa to arrive, and right on time he arrived. Aizawa, good morning everyone. Now before we begin with today's class I have a few announcements. First off, thanks to the sports festival we were able to find Minetta's replacement. You can come in. The door opens and Shinso walks in. Shinso, hello everyone, I'm Hitoshi Shinso, it's nice to be here. Izuku, welcome Shinso, I told you that you would get in. Shinso, it's thanks to you Midoriya. Shinso goes to the empty seat and sits down. Aizawa, now, as for the second announcement, next week you will be doing internships. And you will be choosing your hero names. The door slams open. Midnight, and I'll be authenticating them. Everyone took turns giving their hero names, and now it was Izuku's turn. Izuku, the albino hero, Spectre. Midnight, that's a good name, but why Spectre? Izuku, my white fur already makes me look like one, plus it was either that, or Monkey King, and I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression of me due to Monkey King already existing. Midnight, good point, approved. Izuku smiles and goes back to his seat. Aizawa, now with that done, you will each receive a list of agencies that have sent you an internship. You have until tomorrow to hand in your choice. Izuku was looking through the papers trying to find an agency until he found the one he was looking for. Izuku, I could use the extra combat training, and he was All Might's mentor when he received OFA. Izuku turned in his choice and returned to the dorms for some rest. The day of his internship has arrived and Izuku was really excited about it. He arrived at a rundown apartment. Izuku, mind boy, when he retires, he doesn't waste time doing it. Izuku enters the building to find an elderly man in a yellow and white hero suit lying on the ground covered in a red substance. Izuku, you can stop pretending I know you're not dead. The old man looks up. I must say I'm impressed with your observational skills. Izuku, well, I am working with one of the best heroes of his time, Gran Torino. Gran Torino, so you came here for some training, alright, why don't you get settled in and then we'll start once you're ready. Izuku does as the elderly hero instructs and puts all his belongings in a spare room. Once he was done he put on his hero costume and went down to train with Gran Torino. Gran Torino, you ready for this kid? Izuku, yes I am. Gran Torino uses his quirk to bounce around the room, and Izuku uses his telepathy to interpret where he is going or if he is going to change direction. Once he sees an opening he creates an energy sphere and launches it at him. Some of them missed due to Gran Torino changing directions, but some managed to hit the old man and knock him down. Gran Torino, well, I can't say I saw that coming, but you need to be less reliant on your telepathy if you want to have an actual chance against me. Izuku, yes sir, I'll do my best. Gran Torino, good, now let's have some lunch, you must be hungry after your long trip. Izuku, that sounds nice. Gran Torino left the apartment to get food while Izuku helped fix up the damage that their training caused. The internship went really well for Izuku. He was able to learn how to predict Gran Torino's movement without needing to use his telepathy, and he was able to increase his accuracy with his attacks, making sure to cause minimal damage to his surroundings. Izuku and Gran Torino were now on a train heading to Hosu to help minimize the crime happening. Gran Torino, so kid, how's it going with the, what did you call them again? Izuku, the Freaky Monkey 5, it's going really well with them. They are very helpful at UA, and they are good at maintaining order should someone decide to cause a scene. Gran Torino, good to know, they have a bright future ahead of them. Izuku, suddenly a Nomu crashes through the train. Gran Torino uses his quirk to knock it out of the train. Gran Torino, looks like we arrived just when it was needed, kid. I'm giving you permission to use your powers, just don't get yourself ended. Izuku, yes sir. They exit the train and begin to help other heroes contain the Nomu. Izuku, looks like these are weaker than the one I saw at the USJ. Gran Torino, good to know, I'll try to help the heroes with any problems, you go and save as many people as you can. Izuku, got it. Izuku did as Gran Torino instructed and protected the civilians and heroes who were in mortal danger. He then sees the hero that Ida was interning with, Manuel, looking for him. Izuku, sir, one of my classmates isn't with his mentor, I need to go and find him. Gran Torino, go, you already have permission to use your powers, we've got this under control. Izuku nods and heads off to find Ida. During his training with Gran Torino, he learned how to use his telepathy to locate specific people even in a large crowd. He closed his eyes and focused on Ida's thoughts, and just like that he was able to find his location, as well as the location of another hero, and the hero ender. He rushes to the location and sees Ida is about to be ended by Stain. Just as Stain is about to end Ida, Izuku blocks the attack with a stun club and creates a shockwave to send him back. Stain, who are you, another fake? Wait, you're that boy from the sports festival. Izuku, good to know you know of me. Can you give me a moment? Ida, Midoriya, what are you doing here? This is my fight. Izuku, and why is that, because he crippled your brother? Ida, you're the class rep, you're supposed to be the one to reprimand us for not acting hero-like, and yet here you are seeking vengeance. Ida. Izuku, I know you're mad at him for what happened to Ingenium, but this isn't the way. Ida, you're right Midoriya, I shouldn't have done this. Stain, you are a true hero kid. Izuku turns to Stain. Stain, it wouldn't be fair if you were to die, so I'll give you a chance to save them if you can defeat and capture me. Izuku, I won't let you end them. Stain, we'll see about that, now prove yourself worthy of the named hero. Izuku puts his stun club away and takes a stance. He makes sure to surround himself with a force field so Stain doesn't get the chance to use his quirk on him, and then the fight is on. Stain charges at Izuku with great speed, but Izuku catches him off guard by using his telekinesis to throw a trash can lid at them. Stain starts throwing smaller knives, but the force field manages to block them. Izuku then creates 9 clones and they all attack Stain. While Stain struggles to escape, Izuku starts to focus energy into his hands and the clones hold Stain down. Izuku creates an energy sphere and sends it at Stain. Stain, not bad kid. Managed to catch me off guard. Stain falls to his knees and Izuku takes out a pair of quirk-canceling handcuffs and puts them on the villain. Izuku, there, now you won't be able to hurt anyone. Once Ida and Native get free from the paralysis, they help escort Stain to the heroes and police waiting outside the alley. The police put him into one of the police cars, but before they drove off, Stain turned to Izuku and smiled. Stain, you're a real hero kid, thanks for showing me that there is still hope. Izuku, thank you. The police car starts up and drives off. After the internship, Izuku returned to his class where he saw all his classmates have benefited from their internships, except Bakugo, who just got counseling and a new hairdo, which some of the boys including Izuku found hilarious. All Might came in and asked Izuku to meet him in his office after class. A little later, Izuku arrives at All Might's office. Young Midoriya, good to see you have come. Izuku, thank you sir, so why was I called here? Well, you see I was invited to Island to be a guest at Expo, and I'm allowed to bring a +1, and I chose you as mine. Izuku, wow, that's amazing, but wouldn't it be better to bring Mirio with you? I mean, he is your successor. True, but he has work. Studies with Night Eye, and I know that you would enjoy going there. So what do you say? Izuku, yes, I'd be honored to go. All Might smiles and lets out a hearty laugh. Izuku was on a plane with All Might heading to Island, a man-made island that moves around a lot. The plane landed and they got their luggage from the luggage rack. Izuku took out his throne, which he brought with him. Did you have to bring your throne with you, young Midoriya? Izuku, well, we will be going to a fancy tech expo/party, plus you'll constantly be in your muscle form, which means you'll most likely get swarmed by people asking for autographs and pictures, and I don't want to get trapped in that. Plus I want to show off my inventions to Mr. Shield, This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Good point. Izuku sits on his throne and they leave the airport and head to the main plaza. But seriously, what are the chances of that happening? Look, it's All Might. A crowd started to form as they were heading to All Might. Izuku, very likely. Izuku then hovers above the ground, avoiding the crowd of fans. Once All Might was done, they continued their walk. I guess I should have seen that coming. Izuku? Yeah, plus there was the fact that you were also very popular when you stayed in America, so there's that. Oh, before I forget, I may have told David about your quirk, and he told his daughter about it. Izuku, good to know, and don't worry, he's sure to help you. Thank you, young Midoriya. They were heading to the main building when they saw a blonde girl heading their way on a pogo stick-like invention. She jumps off and lands in All Might's arms. Uncle All Might. Melissa, it's so good to see you, and look how big you've gotten. Melissa, thanks, and who is this? Yes, Melissa, this is Izuku Midoriya. Izuku, it's nice to meet you. Melissa, you too, Papa and Uncle Might told me a lot about you, so what's your hero name? Izuku, the albino hero, Spectre. Melissa, wow, that's a great name. Sorry to cut this short, but shouldn't we be going in to see Dave? Melissa, oh yes, Papa's inside, but he doesn't know about you being here. I wanted it to be a surprise. I see. They enter the building, and once All Might enters the lab, he is greeted by David Shield, his old partner from when he stayed in America. David, it's so good to see you again, All Might. You too, Dave, and this here is young Midoriya. Izuku, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Shield. Izuku holds out his hand and Mr. Shield takes it. In the moment they made contact, Izuku looked into Mr. Shield's mind and what he saw made him worried, but he kept his composure. David, thank you, I've heard a lot about you. It's very nice to meet a student of All Might's. Izuku, well, he is a great teacher. David, Melissa, why don't you show Midoriya around while I talk with my dear friend? Melissa, of course, Papa. Follow me. Melissa guides Izuku out of the lab and they enter a large hall filled with tons of inventions. Melissa, so you really don't have a quirk? Izuku, that's right, the peak point helmet is the real source of my power. Melissa, wow, that's amazing, but what happens when it's removed? Izuku, when it's removed I turn into an actual monkey, but I retain my humanity and original intellect. Melissa, that sounds interesting. Izuku, in a way I sort of see it as a blessing rather than a curse, since becoming an actual monkey does give me their abilities apart from the tail. Melissa, but how could a helmet turn you into a monkey since you were human before? Izuku, actually it was because of my little monkey brother Cuda's hair getting into my head. The helmet was only meant to be used by primates, not humans, so the DNA fused with me giving me this form. Melissa, that sounds like one of those old pre-quirk era comic book origins. Izuku, yeah, I can tell. Aizu. The duo turned to see Achiko coming their way. Izuku, Achiko. They hug each other. Izuku, I'm so happy you're here. Achiko, me too. Izuku, oh Achiko, this is Melissa Shield, she's giving me a tour. Melissa, it's very nice to meet you. Achiko, you too. And I'm not alone. Izuku sees Momo and Jiro coming to Achiko. Momo, Midoriya, it's good to see you. Jiro, I hope we're not interrupting anything. Izuku, not at all girls, this is Melissa. Melissa, it's nice to meet you both. Momo, you too, hey why don't we get something to eat? Jiro, sounds good. They head over to a cafe and the girls start talking with one another. Izuku didn't want to interrupt their chat so he sat by himself. Here's your drink. Izuku, mind I know that voice. Izuku turned to see that the person was Denki Kaminari, and next to him was Shinso. Izuku, Kaminari, and Shinso, what are you doing here? Shinso, they needed extra help and we also get to go to the Expo when it opens to the public. Stop slacking off. Izuku, Ida, good to see you. Ida, you as well Midoriya. Izuku, your family must have been invited if you were here. Ida, true, but they had hero work to do so I came on my own. Momo, my parents were also invited, that's why Uraraka and Jiro are with me. Jiro, the other girls are here too, but they can't come to the party. Izuku, well, I'm glad it worked out in the end. Their conversation was cut short when they heard an explosion in the distance. They ran over to an arena with Ijiro on the top of the rocks. They then see Bakugo, who managed to destroy all the targets in 15 seconds. Izuku, I can see how Kirishima is here. Oh, how so? Izuku, Bakugo is the second-place winner of the sports festival, so Kirishima is his +1. Bakugo, Deku, what the heck are you doing here? Izuku, to answer your question, Bakugo, I am All Might's guest. So why don't you go bark up another tree, you mutt? The girls snickered while Bakugo snarled at Izuku. Bakugo, what did you say, Deku? Izuku, you heard me. Also, I wouldn't be so happy about that score now because someone just beat your record. Bakugo, huh? He turns around to see Shoto freezing the entire field with the announcer saying his time is 14 seconds. Bakugo charged at Shoto, who Izuku knows is here on account of Endeavor. The girls want Izuku to show the audience how it's done. Fortunately for them, Izuku wanted to hurt Bakugo's pride even more than earn fame. Izuku, now let me show you how it's done. Izuku jumps to the center, and as soon as the timer starts, Izuku creates a shockwave that manages to clear all the targets. Announcer, amazing, 8 seconds. Izuku, I was going for 5 seconds, but that's what I get for holding back. Achiko, that was amazing, Aizu. Izuku, thanks Machi. Achiko, and what a cute nickname. They gave each other a quick kiss right before Izuku stopped Bakugo from interrupting it. Izuku, I love you. Achiko, I love you too. Once they were done, they left and returned to their rooms. Melissa gave Denki and Shinso invites so they could help with the guests. Melissa takes Izuku into her lab while he is thinking to himself. Izuku, mind, I know what you want, Mr. Shield, but you don't know what you're getting into. I'll make sure no one gets hurt because of it. Melissa, so what do you think? Izuku, it looks amazing. Melissa, yeah, truth be told, I actually started with some bad grades, but I gotta study hard if I want to be a hero. Izuku, you mean like a pro? Melissa, oh no, I gave up on that a while ago. I am quirkless after all. Izuku, I'm just like I was. Melissa, luckily I had another big dream, being like my father. Izuku, you must be really proud of him. Melissa, yeah. Truth be told, I still want to be a hero, not the kind that is only after fame. I want to be a hero that everyone can turn to in their darkest hour, just Uncle Might. Izuku, that's a really big dream, I'm sure you can reach it. Melissa, thanks, I'd better get my dress. Feel free to look around or invent something while you're here. Izuku, thanks, I'll see you there. Melissa left and Izuku was now in the lab alone. Izuku, mind, she's done so much, it would break her heart to find out what her father was planning. She really reminds me of myself when I was young. Maybe I can help her. Izuku decided to work on a project just for Melissa in the lab. It only took half an hour and he was done. He puts the device away and heads to his room to get changed for the expo. Ida, Shinso, and Denki were waiting at the entrance to the expo. Izuku, sorry I'm late, I had trouble putting on the bow tie. Izuku came in on a more casual red armchair throne wearing a tuxedo with a white undershirt and a red bow tie. Denki, Womido bro, nice suit. Izuku, thanks, it was a gift from Pink. Since formal wear was a requirement for the event, she made a special suit with a temperature regulator so I wouldn't get too hot while wearing it. I also asked the support course to make me some other clothing in case I need it. Shinso, that's great to hear. The girls came in and Izuku took Achiko's hand and guided her into the expo. Izuku, may I have this dance? Achiko, but of course. They danced together, and when they were done they kissed passionately. Achiko, this was definitely a magical evening. The expo was then interrupted by a group of villains that arrived and started taking everyone hostage. Fortunately, the hero students and Melissa managed to escape. Jiro, how is this happening? Melissa, I don't know, there's never been a break-in before. Izuku, is there a way to turn the security back to normal? Melissa, yes, the main controls are on the top floor. Izuku, then we need to get to the top of the building, but I'm not dressed for this. Izuku goes to the bathroom and quickly changes into his hero suit. He returns to his friends with a suitcase containing his suit. Izuku, now let's see, the elevator down here is locked down, so we'll have to work our way up the building. Melissa, can you guide us? Melissa, yes I can. Izuku, okay, and let's be stealthy, we don't want anyone to know about this. Melissa, Papa, I can't believe it, why would you do this? David, because I don't want All Might to retire, I've been trying so hard to find a way to make it so he could still do hero work, but nothing I tried has worked, I don't want to lose him. Melissa, but they almost ended us, I got injured because of them. David, what? But they were meant to be. Izuku, actors, guess what? You unintentionally hired real villains, the leader of which happens to be a wanted villain back in Japan known as Wolfram. Before Izuku could explain further, some metal pipes wrapped around him and his throne and restrained him. Wolfram, the boy is right, Professor, you hired real villains without knowing the truth. The scene plays out just like canon, except Wolfram slaps Melissa and Achiko away and this causes Izuku's blood to boil. Izuku, how dare you? Izuku released an enormous amount of energy that managed to free him from the metal bindings. Wolfram tries to use his quirk on the peak point helmet and Izuku's throne, but nothing happens. Wolfram, what? Why isn't my quirk working on your gear? Izuku, easy, the helmet I'm wearing is impervious to both heat and magnetism. I used the same tech in the rest of my inventions, so your quirk is useless against my tech. Izuku charges up an energy sphere and fires it at Wolfram, sending him out of the building and causing him to release Mr. Shield. Melissa goes to her father and then looks to Izuku. Izuku, Melissa, can you deactivate the security system? Melissa, I'll try. Achiko, what about you? Izuku, someone has to keep him at bay, and that someone has to be me. Izuku gets off his throne and levitates to Wolfram. Izuku, I was really looking forward to a nice peaceful vacation here, but you and your gang just had to step in and ruin it. Now I'm going to ruin you. Wolfram, we'll see about that. Wolfram tries to use his quirk on the building and attack Izuku, but he manages to create a force field to block the attacks before they hit. Izuku then counters by creating clones to confuse Wolfram and then creates an explosion using his powers. The fight kept going for a while with Izuku noticing Wolfram was reaching his limits. Wolfram, how is it possible that you can counter my every attack? Izuku, simple, unlike you who uses brute force and their quirk to fight. I use my mind and strategic planning to evade and counter your attacks. Izuku then pulls out a stun club and focuses his power on it. Izuku, you're done, Wolfram. Wolfram charges at Izuku while Izuku jumps at him and they both strike one another. Izuku managed to avoid the attack, but he was able to knock Wolfram out. Izuku, it's over. Izuku uses his powers to drag Wolfram back into the building where All Might and the rest of the heroes are waiting with quirk-canceling handcuffs for the villains. After they were finished, they headed back to the airport to return to Japan. Izuku, despite the villain attack, it was a really nice trip. Melissa, thanks, I hope we'll see each other again. Izuku, me too, oh and here. Izuku takes out a peak point helmet that looks similar to his, only gray with a red light in the center. Izuku, I made this while I was in your lab, and you can think of this as a little reminder of our visit. Melissa takes the helmet. Melissa, thank you. Izuku walks over to Mr. Shield. Izuku, it wasn't your fault, sir, you couldn't have known they were real villains. David, yeah, but it was still my fault for hiring them in the first place. Izuku, don't worry, it will all blow over in time. Oh, before I leave, I wanted to give you this. Izuku puts a flash drive in Mr. Shield's hand. David, what is it? Izuku, a few projects I've been working on, maybe to help you redeem yourself. Mr. Shield smiled. David, I'll see what I can do. They greet each other and part ways. What did you give him? Izuku, something that might help us in the future. It was the day of the final exams. Izuku and Momo helped their classmates to study, which helped them during the written exam. Now it was time for the practical. For the practical, two students are partnered up against one of the teachers. The teachers will be wearing weights equal to half their own body weight to give the students a fighting chance. The students can win by either capturing the hero with handcuffs or by escaping the zone within the given time limit. Results: Eijiro Kirishima and Rikido Sato vs. Cementos. Fail. Tsuyu Azui and Fumikage Tokoyami vs. Ectoplasm. Pass. Tenya Ida and Masahiro Ojiro vs Power Loader, pass. Shoto Todoroki and Momo Yaoyorozu vs Eraserhead, pass. Achiko Uraraka and Yuga Aoyama vs 13, pass. Mina Ishido and Denki Kaminari vs Nizu, fail. Kyoka Jiro and Koji Koda vs Present Mike, pass. Toru Hagakure and Mizo Shoji vs Snipe, pass. Hitoshi Shinso and Hanta Siro vs Midnight, pass. Izuku watched how much his classmates had improved, and he was happy about the progress they made. It was now Izuku's match. He could handle All Might due to his analysis being able to find a way to overpower him, but he wasn't very happy that his partner was Katsuki Bakugo. Bakugo, just stay out of my way, Deku. Izuku kept his composure because he didn't want their past to get in the way of them passing the exam. Izuku, okay, I'll stay out of your way, but if you need me, I'll be waiting. Bakugo was irritated. Once All Might attacked, Bakugo rushed off to face him, while Izuku stayed close to the fight, while avoiding any attacks. All Might delivers a powerful punch that sent Bakugo to Izuku's way. Izuku, do you need any help, Bakugo? Bakugo, no. Bakugo charges at All Might again. As time went down, every time he got knocked back, Izuku would ask the same question. Meanwhile, in the observation room, Ijiro, what's Midobro doing? Shouldn't he be helping Bakubro? Ida, he's right, this is meant to be a team effort. RG, now, there's no need to worry, this is all part of Midoriya's plan. Jiro, what do you mean? RG, you see, despite their bad history in the past, Midoriya still held on to hope that his childhood friend is still there, but he wants to show Bakugo that there are some fights that he can't win on his own. He's teaching Bakugo humility and how to be humble, by having it beaten into him by someone stronger than him. Denki, I get it, so because All Might is stronger than Bakubro, not only is the fight wearing him out, but it's also teaching Bakugo a lesson. RG, yes, now watch. Back to the exam. Bakugo kept refusing Izuku's help, and he was getting himself beaten by All Might. With only a minute left, Bakugo finally gave in. Bakugo, fine, help me. Izuku, about time. What were you thinking charging into a fight that you knew you couldn't win? You could have ended yourself, and I didn't want to lose you. While Izuku was reprimanding Bakugo, All Might charged at them. Izuku used his telekinesis to stop him mid-air and put the handcuffs on him, all while he was still looking at Bakugo. Izuku, if I had to visit Auntie and tell her that her boy died like that, she would be heartbroken, and it was all because you didn't let me help you. I admired you for the past 10 years, and I still did after I got my powers. If Sniff you died, I would have lost my best friend, and I can't bear it. Bakugo's eyes widened at what Izuku said, and for once, he realized how much pain Izuku was going through, not from the bullying but from the fact that he never asked for help from anyone. Izuku cried even harder than he did before. Izuku, I never looked down on you. That day when you fell off that log, I was scared that you would have died, and I couldn't do anything to save you. I hid my concern for you for the past 2 years, because I thought you didn't want anything to do with me. But after seeing you getting hurt like this, I couldn't bear to watch as my best friend died. Izuku cried even harder, and for the first time since they were kids, Bakugo understood why Izuku wanted to stay by his side. He didn't want to lose one of the people that he deeply cared about. He never knew how much it hurt Izuku just to see Bakugo get hurt. He walks over to Izuku and hugs him. Bakugo, I'm sorry, I should never have hurt you like that. The truth is I never hated you for wanting to be a hero. When you were announced quirkless, I was worried that you would get yourself ended if you still kept trying to be a hero. I turned you away the day I fell because I saw you as the one who could have fallen off that log, and I didn't want to lose you, but then when everyone praised me, I let my ego get the better of me. I'm so sorry, Izuku, I never should have done those things to you. Izuku's eyes widened at what his best friend just said, and they both hugged each other and cried. Katsuki, do you forgive me, Izuku? Izuku, yes, I forgive you, Kaken. They let go of each other and returned to the observation room. The next day they arrived at class where Aizawa announced that everyone was going to the training camp, but the ones that failed would have to take remedial lessons with him. Mina decided that they should go to the mall to gather supplies. Izuku, hey Machi, can you look after Eri and Cuda? I'm going to go get some stuff for the trip. Achiko, sure, come on sweetie. Eri, okay mama. Eri and Cuda take Achiko's hands and walk with her. Izuku headed off to another store. Izuku, okay, that looks like everything, maybe I'll rest up before I meet up with the others. Izuku sits down on a bench. Hey, you're that kid from the sports festival, gotta say, you put on quite a show. Izuku, why thank you, I try to make everyone happy. But I never thought you would be interested. Tamura Shigaraki. The person now revealed to be Shigaraki grabs Izuku's neck with 4 of his fingers. Shigaraki, I'm impressed you managed to figure it out, but can you really stand a chance when I touch you with all 5 fingers? Izuku, it won't matter, while we were talking I put a force field around myself, meaning you can't decay me since it's made of energy. Shigaraki, you think you have a chance against me after our last encounter? Izuku, let's just say my training with Gran Torino did improve a lot of my skills. You may have had a chance before my internship, but now you're the one who's outmatched, so let's talk. I already know what you wanted to ask, but I won't give you an answer, because you'll just warp it to suit your own vision. So now I'm the one asking questions. Shigaraki looked at Izuku with surprise. He expected the boy to cower in fear at this, but he was calm and collected. Shigaraki, fine, what do you want to know? Izuku, what's with those Neo-Pipitrons? I know they have a master, and they fear him. Why is that? Shigaraki, beats me, but if I'm being honest he's very protective of that gun of his, and I think he's planning against Sensei. Izuku, so, you don't trust him, that gives me more reason to stop him. Shigaraki, you know you're a lot of fun to talk to. It's too bad we're enemies, we could have been friends. Izuku, who knows, maybe in the future we might. Shigaraki smiled and let go of Izuku's neck. Shigaraki, I know you probably read my mind while I was holding you, but know that we won't go easy on you the next time we meet. Izuku, I wouldn't have it any other way. Shigaraki walks off and Izuku returns to the class. After a call to the authorities, Izuku briefed Tsukauchi about what he saw in Shigaraki's mind. Izuku, when Shigaraki grabbed my neck I used my telepathy to see his memories, but what he also planned to do. Tsukauchi, and what was that? Izuku, to create an evil clone of me. Everyone's eyes widened. Mina, but how they can't do that, can they? Izuku, yes, they have the technology to do it, and when Shigaraki removed his hand from my neck he also took some of my hair, so the clone will have all my abilities. Nizu, that is very concerning, but can you also tell us where the League and Neo-Pipitrons will strike next? Izuku, yes, their next target is the training camp, and they have new members by their side. They're calling themselves the Vanguard Action Squad, with 12 members in total, 17 if you count the clone of me they're sending and the Neo-Pipitrons. One of the members is a Nomu with a chainsaw quirk, and another is known as the Villain Muscular. Then we'll need to send more heroes to the area. Nizu, agreed, 13, Ectoplasm, Present Mike, Midnight, and Hound Dog will be joining you, along with Kamui Woods. Vlad King, what about All Might? Izuku, no, they're planning something else for us. I couldn't read his mind for very long so I don't know what else they're planning, and besides All Might being there would only prevent us from having any chance of finding their base. 13, so we should help protect the students but also figure out what their true plan might be. Nizu, Hyorozu, can you create some tracking devices for the students and teachers? Something tells me that they will be needed. Momo, yes sir. Nizu, then we know what to do. You are all excused. Tsukauchi, then I'll head back to the station with my report. They all leave, but Izuku pulls All Might aside. Izuku, I need to tell you something, but we need somewhere private. Alright, come by my office tomorrow. Izuku nods and they both leave. The class was on the bus heading to the training camp. Izuku requested that the Freaky Monkey 5 arrive at the camp ahead of time so they can help prepare for when they arrive, as well as bring Eri and Cuda along. They talk for a bit before the bus comes to a stop. Aizawa, alright everyone, get out. Everyone gets out as a limousine parks in front of them, and out came 2 Wild Pussycats members Mandalay and Pixie Bob as they do their intro. There was also a boy around Eri's age with black hair and a red hat with yellow horns. Izuku mind, why does that boy look so angry? Mandalay, alright little ones, you'll need to get all the way to the main building which sits at the foot of the mountain. Izuku didn't want to waste time, so he jumped off the cliff and landed in the forest. He asked Aizawa to take Eri and Cuda to the camp on the bus, which he agreed on. Mandalay, looks like someone has the right idea. Pixie Bob uses her quirk, causing all the other students to fall off the cliff. Izuku was ahead of everyone else. Following behind him was Katsuki, Ida, Achiko, Shoto, and Momo as they headed to the camp while helping each other fight off Pixie Bob's earth monsters. They arrive at the camp to find Aizawa, the WWPC, Eri, Cuda, the boy, the FMF, and all the requested heroes waiting for them. Mandalay, hey, you made it, great work back there. Ida, thank you. Izuku, hey Mandalay, I've been meaning to ask, but who's the kid? Mandalay, oh, this is my nephew, Kota Izumi. Izuku, mind the water hose duo's son, now I know why he was angry at my classmates, but why did he look calm when he saw me? Maybe I'll talk to him at dinner. The rest of the class arrived and they were all exhausted. Pixie Bob, about time you got here, the hot springs are over there if you need to relax. They all got their second wind and left to get changed. After they were done in the hot springs, they helped with the cooking. Izuku already finished making his meal, so he decided that it was a good time to talk to Kota. He follows Kota to a cave. Izuku, hey, you didn't take anything. Kota looked up to see Izuku, but he just looked down. Kota, no, I just didn't want to be around so many wannabe heroes. Izuku, I can understand why, but why didn't you act so cold towards me? Kota, I heard your speech at the sports festival, it made me rethink my view on heroes a lot. Izuku, they started to hang out, and Izuku saw that Kota felt flustered whenever Eri was around, which he didn't really mind. Eventually, Kota started to get along with all the other students. It was time for a rest of courage, but Izuku noticed something in the distance. Smoke coming from the forest. Izuku, sir, the villains are here. Aizawa, all right, the heroes and the FMF are helping the students who are still in the forest. Mandalay, wait, where are Kota, Eri, Pipachi and Cuda? Izuku, I know where they are, I'll go get them. Yellow, come with me, something tells me I'll need you. Yellow, all right Izuku. Izuku and Yellow head off to Kota's hideout. They arrive to find Eri, Cuda, and Kota about to get attacked by Muscular. Yellow jumps in the way to block the attack, causing the villain to recoil. Eri, yes papa. Cuda, I'm okay big bro, but Kota isn't. Kota, it's him, he ended my parents. Izuku looked at Muscular, his eyes filled with hatred. Izuku, Yellow, take care of him, but leave a little for me. Yellow, alright. Yellow does a belly flop on the villain and then begins to wrestle with him. Every time Muscular punches Yellow, it merely bounces back. Muscular, Gore, why can't I hurt you? Yellow, you can't just attack my body, I'm immune to blunt force. Muscular ignores Yellow's remark and continues to attack him, only to get really tired. Izuku, mind if I take over Yellow? Yellow, be my guest. Izuku goes to Muscular and takes out his stun club and begins to hit him in his vulnerable points, causing him to collapse. Izuku then puts the stun club away and begins to charge up an energy sphere, which he sends at the villain, causing him to fall unconscious. Once he was done, he picked the kids and Cuda up and gave them to Yellow. Izuku, Yellow, take them back to the camp. Yellow, what about you? Izuku, I'll cover you. Yellow nods, takes the kids from Izuku, and starts running to the camp with Izuku behind them. Just as they were halfway there, an energy ball exploded in their path, with a shadowy figure being the main cause. Izuku, keep going, I'll buy you some time. Yellow wanted to help but knew he couldn't intervene, so he kept running to the building, leaving Izuku and the assailant alone. Izuku, who are you? You may call me Dark Spectre. The figure emerges from the shadows. His fur is black, and the tips of his spiky hair are red instead of blue or purple. He wears a gray helmet, scarf and belt, black pants, and a black cape with dark orange markings. Izuku, so you're the clone. Dark Spectre, yes, and I'll be the one to destroy you. Izuku, not if I can do anything about it. Izuku fights against Dark Spectre. Every time one of them attacks, the other manages to counter it. The fighting continued until Izuku was able to get him off balance and send him into a wall. Izuku, your attack has failed. Dark Spectre, who said that it was going to be an attack? This was a capture mission. Izuku, what? Izuku then realized that his friends were in danger, so he ran to their aid, leaving Dark Specter behind. Dark Specter, for my original counterpart, he cares too much about his friends to be able to stop me. A warp gate opens and he goes through it. We go to Achiko, Tsuyu, and Toga. Toga, I really hope we can be friends. Achiko, I do too, but not as we are now. Meta, sorry to interrupt this, but Meta has Meta's orders. You can leave Toga. Toga, pouts fine. Toga leaves through a portal, leaving Achiko and Tsuyu to fight Meta. Tsuyu, we know you don't really want to do this ribbit, but let's at least make it look real. Meta, agreed, so sorry for what Meta is about to do. Meta's body begins to shift and he turns into a frog getting dissected. Tsuyu faints from the horror while Achiko uses her quirk on a few stones and shoots them at Meta, which forces him to change back to normal. Meta, I guess Meta should have seen that coming, but Meta transforms again, but this time he turns into Achiko's father. Meta, can you really bring yourself to hurting your own papa? Achiko, no, I can't, but he can. Meta turns around and sees Blue Monkey behind him. He begins to attack Meta, but try as he might, he couldn't dodge Blue's attacks. Meta, nice move, Meta didn't anticipate this. Meta then melts and goes into the ground to escape. Blue, are you two okay? Achiko, yeah, but Sue fainted. Blue, I'll carry her, but where's Izuku? Achiko, he went to save Koda, Eri, Cuda and Papachi. Blue, then he must be back at the main building. Hop on and I'll get you two there. Achiko, thanks Blue. Blue, I just hope Pink's alright. Blue drives all the way back to the main building with Achiko and Tsuyu. We now go to Shoji and Tokoyami as Dark Shadow gets out of control. And holding off Crack. Crack, hold still you beast. Dark Shadow, alright. Dark Shadow flails around attacking both Crack and Shoji. Shoji, Dark Shadow calm down. Tokoyami, I can't control him, there's too much darkness. Crack, that's it I'm going in. Crack jumps towards Dark Shadow to try and put a mind control device on him, only for Dark Shadow to knock him far away. Crack, I regret this decision. Dark Shadow continues to rampage until a bright flash of light causes him to stop and retreat back into Tokoyami. Once Dark Shadow calmed down, the lights dim to reveal White holding a giant flashlight. White, I have conquered the rampaging beast. Shoji, thanks White, Dark Shadow was too strong for us to handle alone. White, don't thank me yet, right now we need to get back to the main building, I've already taken some of your classmates there. Hop on. Shoji and Tokoyami climbed onto the hovering platform, as it quickly carried them back to the main building. We now go to the main building where everyone is safe and sound. Aizawa, is everyone okay? Izuku, yes sir, all present and accounted for. Well, almost everyone. They all turn to the source of the voice to see a man wearing a mask, a top hat with a feather, and a trench coat. Mr. Compress, we already have what we came for, so we'll just be on our way. He holds out a marble as everyone looks to find Katsuki isn't there. Mr. Compress jumps away. Izuku, Red, come with me, we're getting Kaken back. Red nods as he and Izuku run after the villain as he tries to escape. Izuku manages to knock him out of the trees by using his telekinesis to have one of the branches hit the villain, causing him to drop the marble. Izuku manages to catch the marble only to be knocked to the side by G and coming face to face with J once more. Izuku, Red, you deal with G, I'll handle J. Red, you got it. The charges at their respective Neo-Pipitrons. Izuku manages to counter all of J's attacks thanks to the training he did during his internship, allowing him to get the upper hand on the primate. Despite his victory against J, Red wasn't having so much luck. Izuku watched as Red and G fought one another, delivering powerful blows. Despite Red's super strength, G was bigger and had a stronger build which allowed her to overpower Red and take the marble. G, sorry about this, but I have my orders. Izuku, it's okay G, we understand, just stay safe, okay? G nods and goes through the portal with the rest of the Neo-Pipitrons. J, Dark Spectre, deal with those remaining. Dark Spectre gives an evil grin as a portal opens and the villains leave with Bakugo. Dark Spectre, I'm going to enjoy this. All the heroes and students charge at Dark Spectre, But he counters by charging up a massive amount of energy and creating a shockwave more powerful than Izuku's. Everyone was still conscious but was weakened by the immense amount of energy. Dark Spectre approaches Blue and creates an energy sphere in his hand. Dark Spectre, say goodnight, heroes. But right before he could deliver the final blow, he was knocked away by an unknown force and into a few trees. Everyone turned to find Pink, who wasn't affected by the shockwave. Pink, how dare you? Pink's rage finally begins to rear its ugly head. Her teeth became sharp like daggers, her eyes became white and furious, and her nails became sharp claws. She emitted an aura of pure rage that made a lot of people feel terrified. Pink, how dare you? Pink then lets out a powerful sonic scream that knocks Dark Spectre away. Izuku, I told you she had a big temper. The class was still in shock at this. Pink was bringing a total beatdown on Dark Spectre. Pink, this is for yellow, this is for red, this for white, this is for Izuku, this is for Papachi, this is for my friends, and this is for hurting Blue. She delivered a final powerful punch that managed to knock him out. She then calmed down and went to help the group. Pink, are you guys okay? Red, we're fine. Pink, thanks. Blue, Pink, after this is over. Pink, yes? Blue, would you like tea to go on a date with me? Pink, oh Blue, yes, I would love that. Blue, oh really, that's great. Blue embraced Pink in his arms and they hugged one another. A little later the police arrive and arrest the villains that were left behind, including Dark Spectre. Izuku was really worried about Katsuki, but he knew he couldn't do anything until the faculty had made a plan of action. For now, all he could do was wait. The heroes were having a meeting, and Izuku was with them discussing a plan on how to proceed with the rescue. Izuku was on a new throne he called the Armon Chair because it can summon 2 robot arms to help in both normal work and hero work. Izuku was starting to get impatient because they couldn't come up with a plan on what to do without the risk of the villains either escaping or ending anyone. Izuku, we can't just sit here and waste time coming up with a plan. That's my best friend they have, and who knows what that man might do to him. Nizu, easier said than done. We may know both the location of Bakugo and the Noma facility, but we're very low on power due to there being so many Nomu, and the fact that some members of the League have very destructive quirks. Midnight, it also seems that the villains have their own giant. The monitor shows an image of Gigantomachia. Izuku, if we're going to war with the villains, then we'll need some extra power. White, Izuku, is it time? Izuku, oh yes, it's time. Aizawa, what are you talking about? Izuku, follow us. Izuku leads them to a warehouse he bought recently and opens the doors revealing 4 robots. Izuku, my friends, allow me to introduce you to Izuku, Metal Gear. Izuku, Robo Dragon. Izuku, Bakubot. Izuku, and finally, Goliath. All the heroes and hero students' jaws dropped at the sight of the gigantic robots. Izuku, what do you think? All Might, this is amazing, how did you do this? Izuku, you can thank May, Melissa, and Mr. Shield for this, but only me and the monkeys know how to operate them. Nizu, this is truly amazing. Young Midoriya, would you like to join the raid? Izuku, I would be honored. Blue, well, let's gear up and get ready to take them down. We now go to the night of the raid. The robots were stationed outside Kamino so the villains wouldn't try to relocate once word about the robots gets out. Aizawa, everyone ready? Izuku, all set. Hawks, you got your distraction ready? Hawks, I'm ready to put the plan into motion. Every other hero confirms that they're ready, and once Aizawa gives the signal, Hawks knocks on the door. All Might, Kamui, restrain them. Kamui Woods managed to restrain all the members of the League, leaving only the Pipitrons and the Mystery Man. Police, surrender. Mystery Man, alright, whatever you say. The man puts his hands behind his back only for Izuku to realize that he is pulling out his weapon. Just as he was about to put up his barrier, the man was electrocuted, falling onto the ground with Pipitron J standing behind him with a shock baton at full voltage. Mystery Man, Dubba. J, this is for all the people you've ended. The Mystery Man's pulse stops and he dies. The police surround the Neo Pipitrons. Police, don't move. J, there's no need for that, we surrender. The Neo-Pipitrons put their hands up showing that they are sincere. Before they could be taken away, the League began to vomit a black substance that caused them to vanish. Kamui Woods. What happened? Izuku, the tracking device says that they are at another location. Aizawa, All Might is already heading that way. Red, then he'll need help. Yellow, we'll need to get the robots there now. Izuku, we'd better hurry. Izuku, red, yellow, blue, and pink got into Goliath with a few Peepo monkeys, Snake and Ocelot, and a few Peepo monkeys ride in Metal Gear, and white got into his dragon robot which also carried Bakubot. They managed to reach All Might's location with Mirio beside him, facing off against AFO. Before they could assist them, they see Gigantomachia emerge from the ground as he begins to walk to their location. Izuku, we can't fight Machia off and help All Might at the same time, it would take at least all the robots just to take Machia down. Pink, Spectre, go and help All Might, will take care of Machia. Izuku, are you sure? Red, you made us into heroes, we can handle this. Izuku, okay, good luck my friends. Izuku smiles and uses his throne to exit Goliath. White, alright, let's make Izuku proud. FMF, Snake, and Ocelot. Right. White uses his dragon robot to create a wall of fire and Bakubot's explosions seem to weaken Machia's durable skin. Snake and Ocelot use Metal Gear to launch a barrage of missiles that manage to do a lot of damage. Once Machia was down, Goliath winds its arm and delivers a powerful punch that was able to knock Gigantomachia out. We now go to Izuku as he arrives at the battle between All Might, Mirio, and AFO. So, All Might, you finally found a successor, just like I have, but I can't let you arrest him. AFO launches his red tendrils at Kurogiri only for them to be blocked by a force field revealing Izuku to be the source. Izuku, sorry AFO, but they won't be going anywhere. FO, so you're the boy that they talked about, I must say you've caused me a lot of trouble for a kid. Izuku, well I hope I met your expectations because I'm not going to let someone like you win. Young Midoriya, mind helping us out? Izuku, of course, my throne can maintain the force field around both itself and the villains, so I might as well help you both. Izuku jumps off as a force field forms around his throne. Mirio, let's do this. Mirio and All Might start to engage AFO, managing to get an upper hand until he creates a shockwave that sends them back. Izuku then enters the fight using his force fields to contain the smaller shockwaves AFO created and blocking his strong attacks. Izuku was able to send AFO away by creating a large energy sphere, but it wasn't enough to stop the ancient villain. Izuku backs off to allow All Might and Mirio to continue their bout with AFO. He takes out a remote, thinking back to this morning. Flashback to a few minutes after the meeting. Nizu, now remember Midoriya, the only reason I'm agreeing to this is that it isn't a death ray and that it should only be used as a last resort if you're fighting a villain that's too powerful for you or any other hero to handle, am I understood? Izuku, yes sir. End of flashback. Izuku activates the device and he begins to target AFO. Izuku, locking on target, and fire. The laser fires at the satellite and it bounces off the reflector and hits AFO on the mark. AFO, Dewa. AFO passes out from the pain and then All Might and Izuku raise their fists in the air proclaiming that they are still here for everyone. Another was holding a reflector. The last one was dressed like a director holding a yellow megaphone and sitting on a chair that said Spectre TV. The director monkey started to lecture the serial ender monkey. Izuku, now, what's all this commotion? The director monkey told Izuku about what happened. Izuku, okay, Jason, try lifting the chainsaw with both hands like you're going to swing a baseball bat, and stare into the camera like you're really trying to end someone. The serial ender monkey named Jason nodded and got back into position. Izuku, if you have any more problems be sure to let me know. Izuku leaves the room and passes by a news studio with a reporter monkey holding a microphone. Izuku, keep up the good work. Reporter monkey. Izuku walks up to Achiko and Eri who are standing by a window as they watch the sunrise from the view of Izuku's newly built space station, Saru-003. Name, Saru-003. Age, 2¼ years. Classification, Space Station. Builders, Powers and abilities. Superhuman physical characteristics, flight. Attack potency, planet level, capable of destroying the planet, although its original function was to split it in half. Speed, no. Durability, planet level, able to withstand striking a planet hard enough to split it. Range, possibly planetary. Weakness, nothing notable. Izuku, to think this all started because I wanted to be a hero. Not only am I one, but I'm also an inventor, the creator of Spectre TV, and a family man. Achiko, and we're very proud of you. Eri, Papa is amazing. Izuku, I'm happy to hear it. Now where's your baby brother? I'm only younger by age, I'm technically the same age as her. A now 8-year-old Papachi arrived wearing a white costume with gold buttons and a ribbon around his neck. He also wore puffy white pants. Lastly was the growth of his wings, which got a lot bigger than when he was a baby. Izuku, there you are, Papachi, so how was Eri? Papachi, she's doing a lot better with her quirk, and the monkeys over in Studio 5 are going great. Izuku, that's good to hear. Cuda, you are amazing, brother. Izuku, thanks Cuda, now let's head down to UA and see how everyone's doing. Achiko, alright. They got into the new teleporter. It teleported them right outside the entrance of UA. Izuku, it's great to be back. Achiko, yeah, but I think we arrived a little early. Izuku, yeah, but the FMF said that they were also arriving early, so I thought we might as well greet them before everyone else arrived. They wait at the gates, and after a few minutes, the FMF arrives wearing the outfits of the different movies they have roles in. White's helmet is shaped like a knight's with the alert light on the upper top of it. He retains the iconic red and green goggles. He wears no shirt, only a white cape. He has large, chunky metal pants that are connected to red suspenders. His belly button now hangs out and sits on his pants. He has gold shoulder pads and a partial chest covering, relating to the theme of castles and royalty. He has white gloves and brownish-red sandals with seemingly connected ankle parts. Blue is seen wearing the same outfit, except modified to fit his Western outlaw theming. He now sports a long blue cape, fingered gloves, a cowboy hat, also serving as his peak point helmet, and an X-shaped ammunition bandolier across his chest. He is now skilled in gunmanship, sporting a banana-styled revolver, and also has several bundles of dynamite at his disposal. His Spectre badge is still on his belt. Yellow has lighter green hair in a Shimada hairstyle, decorated with bananas and cherries. He has yellow thread tied around his neck and a large, light blue rope around his shoulders and tied at the back. He now wears a thick purple mawashi, with a semi-see-through purple cloth in its middle. The cloth itself has a floral design and kanji on it. The Spectre buckle is smaller and in a similar place to his old design. He has fishnet tights leading to short white socks. On his feet, he now wears red getas. This design is a mixture of sumo wrestlers and geishas. Pink chose a different costume inspired by the Arabian area she was found in. She has on a modified helmet that is pink, white, and fuchsia-themed and resembles a genie bottle with a pale pink, silk ribbon flowing from the top and her alarm light near the bottom brim of. Her outfit consists of a fuchsia tank top with sleeves below her shoulders with white accents and pale pink bracelets. Over this is a lavender vest with white detailing, matching her belt that has a golden Spectre buckle in the center. Her pants are puffed with light pink rings on the bottom, and she also wears pale pink flats with green gems on the toe. Izuku, ever since she became a pop star she started to mellow out a bit, but her temper does take over if you tick her off enough. Monkey Red takes on a Chinese monk theme and is aided by twin clubs and an upset stomach to fight with. Izuku, it's good to see you all again. Red, we missed you so much. Izuku. Blue, yeah, our careers are great and all, but we missed being with you. Izuku, thanks guys. White, by the way, I finished that device you had me working on. Izuku, oh, the multiverse portal, I almost forgot about it. Pink, well, let's get everyone together and take a trip. White, not so fast, we don't want to overexceed the weight limit, it can only teleport a few people. Izuku, well, we'll figure it out when we have the chance. We still have some time to catch up before then. Yellow, oh yes, this is going to be fun, let's go. Everyone, alright. It has been 3 days since Izuku Midoriya was diagnosed as quirkless.
Okay, sadly the chapter is over. And if you enjoyed the video, just leave a like and subscribe with post notification, so when the next chapter is ready, you will be notified. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.